Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to. Is this better? That's not better. Is this better? That's better. Welcome, everybody, to After the Credits, episode 126. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday. We're back on Mondays. Holy shit. Monday, I missed you. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Right now, we're in the studio by our little lonesomes. We have 3 guests scheduled today. Unfortunately, none are here yet. But hope everyone is having a fantastic day. We'll spend the first couple minutes just chilling, just jazzing, relaxing. Let's see what guest shows up first. Hello, Lost Dandelion? Is that how you'd say your name, Jeffrey? I think that's Jeffrey. Cameron's in the chat saying hello, everybody. It's just you, no Taz. Yeah, no Taz today. Taz has quit the show. Taz is never coming back again. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, who's that? Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but this isn't Taz. This is Viltrumite Taz here.
Yeah, it's unfortunately Taz. It's a little Hitler coded. It's a little got the in like a good way, I
it's like the cheesy like golden era bodybuilder mustache is what it is. Sure. Is if anybody is familiar with Chris Bumstead, 6-time Mr. Olympia champion, then you'll understand where the stash is from. But it is also kind of Viltrumite.
I think
stash.
I'm projecting because I can't pull it off. When I get rid of the hair, keep the mustache, it looks very Hitler, and I'm like, no.
So the key is to like leave enough like around, like it's got to swoop down enough that it doesn't look like a samurai mustache, but leave enough room so it looks halfway decent. But just trying something else, something different for the summer. So
very nice. Very nice. After Invincible ended, I feel like it would have been better.
I know
in the spring, but
I know. I wanted to, but like I had a trip coming up that I wanted it to look a specific way for, so I had to wait. But
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Taz, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Took a break last week.
Yes.
We talked Euphoria, which was fun with Alan.
Okay.
And now we're back on the grind with shows. It's been a minute since we had like a new show, like a new weekly show start up. So I'm very excited for this week. We have a show that will be 10 weeks, which is very exciting. Yeah. Like a show that aired. I was expecting like a 2-episode premiere. I feel like they typically do that. It's like, nope, here's just one episode. I'm
just one.
We get for 10 weeks straight, and then X-Men starts in a couple weeks, and that will also be 10 weeks straight. And I'm like, yes, this is what I love. This is the stuff that holds the show together.
Oh yeah, no, it's good to be in such a good era as far as like animation goes as well, right? I mean, X-Men's coming back. We've got My Adventures. We've got more shows coming in that universe of My Adventures with Superman as well, with the Green Lantern series coming out as well. I know you posted something. We talked about it previously. What's the other animated show that's coming out around the same time?
Batman Caped Crusader.
Oh, Caped Crusader. Because I was thinking, it's not Spider-Man, is it? Because Spider-Man's not coming out until a little bit later on. Yeah.
Although they just announced that it is officially finished, so they finished.
Oh, okay.
100% complete now.
Good. Good.
So now it's just a waiting game, which I'm fine with. There's a lot coming out right now, so I don't need it.
No.
Like immediately. Yeah. Where's the tweet I made? Because I think what's so interesting about it is they are kind of all back to back, which is so fun in a way. So My Adventure started today, or I guess yesterday at this point. Then X-Men starts the 1st of July, and then Caped Crusaders starts and ends July 31st, because I think it is a binge drop again, unfortunately.
Yes. And that's just, I guess, with the territory of Prime, even though Prime it's seemingly kind of had a little bit of a different kind of approach as far as like first season is a binge, and then second season has usually been has been weekly, right? Like think about Fallout, right? Because season
Yeah.
1 of Fallout was dropped all at once, and then season 2 was a binge. Or
I
no, sorry,
wonder.
was dropped weekly instead of being a binge.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder if it's because it's not or it's very episodic, right? Like Cape Crusader
yeah,
isn't necessarily like a theorizing week to week. They are kind of, it's very like Batman the Animated Series coded,
yeah,
where like
it's
each
kind of
episode is,
standalone.
yeah, which I get. I still would have liked to have had that weekly combo, and because that's why we didn't cover season 1, because they
Right.
dropped it all at once. Darth had a couple weeks there, he was out, and by the time we were free, it's like, no, it's over now. Like no one's talking about Cape Crusader, which is, we almost ran into this exact same thing with Spider Noir, where it's like, well, we didn't get to it this week nor the next week. I'm like, going into this week, I was like, should we even cover it? Should we even do it? Because it's hard to do the binge. It's hard to. I get why they do it, but also for
Yes.
like this, it's like,
But we've had this conversation before. We're thinking about it too much as content creators and not enough as an audience member, right? I think the general audience member that wants to see everything will be excited about a binge drop because then they can just watch everything all at once or watch it at their own pace. But again, you're right. Thinking about it from our perspective, as far as like I'd like to have weekly content about it, it makes it tough to cover it. Case in point, Spider Noir, which we'll probably talk about a little bit today, but it's been tough to actually go ahead and like get through everything. Like I feel like I'm so behind, and by not finishing everything within that first like week or so,
yeah,
I feel like it's kind of been like just null and void now. It almost doesn't matter.
I don't think,
So
I don't think it's good for studios either. Like I think they think it's good because they look at the first day numbers, like, oh, look at all these numbers, but the drop off is insane. They don't have the like 8 week drop off, which, I mean, in fairness, I do think I actually do kind of get why Spider Noir did it, and we'll talk about that once we actually get into Spider Noir. But it is one where I'm like, all right, I like, it is kind of a show where I'm like, I kind of understand why you kind of want people to just watch it. Um, someone said nice hoodie. What's your hoodie? What you got
so
going on?
it is the Scream 7 Ice 9 Kills hoodie. It's very cool. It's got a ghost face on the back of it, but I don't want to mess up the camera right now. I'll show it off at the end.
Okay.
But
all right.
yeah, it's pretty nice. It actually literally just came in the mail today, and I was like, oh, I'll throw this on before the stream.
All right. We got I got a couple of news things I want to go over before we hop too far into our news thing. I want to see if another person is coming in tonight, because there's a topic I really want to talk about that particular person. But I will say, they did drop another issue of the Ben 10 comic.
Oh yeah, enlighten me, take me through a journey.
Yeah.
If you can even call it that, I guess.
No, it's good. I talked about it a good bit in our annual Ben 10 stream this week, which was very fun. Shout out to everyone that watched that. It's at like 700 views at this point, so thank you all. Thank you. One of the creators of Ben 10 even like retweeted the episode. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely like a continuation of the first one. Like it's very clear to me now these issues seemingly are going by threes. It seems like 3 issues would be the equivalent of like 1 episode. So this was like, I guess, the equivalent of like an extra 5 minutes of where we left off last time.
Okay.
This episode was very heavily focused on Max. It was like a big kind of like setting up where we would take Max in the classic series. It's very much the like military is a lot more involved in this season, and he runs into the military, and it's a lot of like, why are you here? What are you doing here? Should we be concerned about you and your history? And I definitely think it's playing on the people that know the continuity and know the show. Like they're kind of playing with like, Max's secret already. We don't really have to hide it from you this time around, because most of our audience has seen the show, and it seems like they're being much more forward with that. The issue itself wasn't too crazy though. Ben does some more stuff throughout the forest. He They're definitely leaning a lot more into like the body horror of Ben 10, which I think is really interesting.
Okay.
The transformations so far are painful. They're scary.
Yeah.
He's freaking out. He's literally like begging to
Ghost
the
freaking
universe.
out?
We don't have Ghost Freak yet, but he's like literally like the Omnitrix seems to be like switching him from alien to alien. He doesn't know how to get out, and he's literally like begging for his life. Like, I want to be like, let me be human again. So
yeah, that's cool.
It's very interesting. I there's a lot of like, why is it doing that? What are they doing with that thing? Is it broken? Is it like what? Why is it doing that? So that's interesting. He still hasn't physically transformed. It's always been like he hits it and it just kind of gives him whatever. So I'm wondering if that changes. We got a first look at Cannonbolt this issue, first official appearance for him. Pretty controversial look for the character, but I kind of like the little guy. I think he's kind of cute. This is interesting. If I was to get into Ben 10, when do you think I should start? That's interesting.
I guess
anytime.
Yeah. No, well, I think yes, it started any time, but also I think you start with the original show. Like
if that's what you're asking, yes.
Yeah. Start with the original show. But yeah. I mean, do you think that this comic is going to be, I guess, get to a point where if somebody doesn't want to watch the show, that they can read this comic and then understand the lore of Ben 10 and just kind of be versed enough in it to then go watch whatever they would want to, or go absorb, say, a new game comes out or something like that?
I think obviously like this is a good starting point. Like we are starting, day zero. Like it's not like we're just
back at
into
the
a story.
beginning.
Like this is the beginning. And again, like I said last time, they've talked about this being like a potential or not even a potential, but like this is like their definitive version of the character for them. Like they want to get rid of all of the continuity errors and all the loopholes and all the continuity stuff and be like, this is how we imagine Ben 10 to be, and just kind of tell that story. But yeah, they said I meant to where. Yes, I would say start with classic Alien Force Ultimate Alien Omniverse. You can jump in other places, but I mean I did. I started with Alien Force when I first watched it. That was my introduction. Because I didn't have access to classic. I didn't have. I've said this before. My first introduction was a guidebook. I just had the guidebook for Ben 10 for like 3 years. I was a fan of the show, having never watched a single episode. I just had the guidebook, and I would look at all the characters, and I knew some of the lore. I was like, this is so cool. Like I was getting action figures for Christmas and stuff, having never seen the show itself. I didn't have cable. Cable.
That's cool.
And then I got like a library card years later, and I was like, oh, I can go get Ben 10 DVDs and have them for a week and then bring them back. But they didn't have classics. I just had Alien Force and Ultimate Alien. I was like, well, this is what I got. All right. But and then the issue ends with Gwen hitting Ben with a car because she thinks it's an alien just wandering the street. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because my first instinct if I saw an alien wandering the street would be to hit it with a car.
Yeah, she's just like, oh yeah, like you're not an Earth alien, just kind of hits them.
Oh, okay. Wait, so why is Gwen driving a car though?
Well, it's not the car. It's the rust bucket. Like she's left in the rust buckets. She's trying to find Grandpa and Ben, and she sees.
Oh, okay. Kind
of hits him. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good context. Thank you.
Well, let's stall for a couple more minutes. Anything you've been watching over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I guess we didn't talk about. I saw it. I guess now a couple weeks ago. Is I finally went to go see the Backrooms.
Oh,
saw the Backrooms with my brother. Did you see the movie yet?
I have not seen Backrooms yet.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so initial out of theater reaction was like kind of a what did I just watch sort of thing. Like I didn't really know if I enjoyed it or not, oddly enough. Then the more I sat with it, the more my brother and I discussed it, the more I looked online and learned about the filmmaker and everything like that. Kane Parsons. Looked at some of his prior work and stuff like that, the more I appreciated it. So what I learned is that if you are going to go see this movie, you should watch a lot of his like found footage Backrooms videos that he posted on YouTube before you go ahead and watch the actual Backrooms movie, because there's a lot of extra added detail and context to the film that you get from that, that without it, it seems kind of like an incomplete movie on the surface. While, yes, presenting very interesting ideas, it doesn't feel like, again, like a front to back easy watch, kind of like Obsession was. Obsession, very standalone. You don't need to know who Corey Barker is as a filmmaker to enjoy Obsession, but I think you do need to know a little bit more about the history of the Backrooms and of Kane Parsons himself to enjoy Backrooms to its fullest extent. I think some people will enjoy it without that, but that I think is my biggest critique for the movie in general. But the more I've sat on it, the more I've enjoyed it. My brother and I have actually planned to now go play the Escape the Backrooms game.
Okay.
So next, hopefully by this time next week, I'll have a little review on that and let you know how that feels. But it reminds me, yes, again, I love that we're getting two very young filmmakers that transition from YouTube to Hollywood that are like topping the box office now, which is insane. I think Backrooms is tracking for 300 million. Overall, I think Obsession's still doing really well. Like, it still made like 15 million last weekend or something insane like that. Like, they're both still doing absolutely insane numbers.
Even the like Markiplier movie that came out like
year,
like
was it Iron Lung?
Iron Lung, and then last year we had like Shelby Oaks, even though that one didn't do as well. Like, we are in the era of YouTube turned filmmakers, and I think that's pretty great. I think that's really awesome.
do too. I way more prefer something like this rather than like a Mr. Beast gets his like 8 millionth game show.
Sure.
You know, like I love to see content creators and stuff represented in this way, right? Where it makes it feel like a legitimate career path, right? Like, I mean, imagine if, when we were younger and first starting out on YouTube, right, you had somebody that you're like, hey, mom, look at this guy who posted YouTube videos for the last 10 years, who is now a actual director. Like, now I want to make YouTube videos and maybe I'll focus more on, the actual craft of content creation because I know that there's that potential now. Right. I think that is maybe, also a very important aspect of that too. So
I think it like the industry is currently changing fast. It's changing fast. The main studios, I think, are coming a lot more, like, all the main studios are swallowing each other. They're investing a lot more in AI, and you see a lot more of these stars in Hollywood and filmmakers be like, let me go with the more indie company. Let me go with the more smaller company. I think we are seeing the rise of these companies and these creators and these platforms that wouldn't have been successful 5 years ago now can be one of the like Obsession is currently one of the most successful movies in history now. Not because of how much it's made, but how low the budget was for how much it's made. Like that's an insane accomplishment, and we're going to see a lot more of it within these next couple years, and I'm really excited for that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
What YouTuber do you think should be the next to be given that chance, and where do you think the directors of Obsession and Backrooms go from here?
Ooh.
I'm definitely not qualified to answer the what YouTuber next should, whatever. I think they should all get the opportunity. Like, anyone that wants to would be my answer.
I don't know if you would want to, but a YouTuber that I would find that I think would be a very interesting person to head a film or anything like that. I think Jeremy Johns, because he is like the quintessential like movie reviewer. When you think, at least for me, when I think about like a new movie comes out, okay, let me go see what he thinks of it. Not that I always agree with his reviews. I just like to get a gauge because I understand. I've watched his videos for years now. I know what kinds of things he likes and what kinds of things he doesn't. So I'll gauge that based off of what I'm looking for in a movie as well. But I think something from his perspective could be very interesting.
I think Shelby Oaks was interesting because you had a creator that had gone online for years
and reviewed films.
I was very critical on movies, and then he did it himself, and it wasn't received the greatest. And that was such an interesting, like, like, you know, like, not saying that he shouldn't be reviewing movies and stuff like that, but I think the biggest thing was him keeping reviewing movies post that movie coming out and his weird actions after that. So it's definitely very, like, I think if I went on and did that, I'd be like, I'm done. I'm gonna step away from the critiquing era, because I think it's hard for artists to also critique other artists. Like, that's a hard line to walk, I think.
Yes, but I think also if you can't handle it, maybe it's not for you at that point, right? If you have sat there and you've built a career off of being critical of film and television and things like that, and you make something and you can't take that criticism and see it as constructive and use that to further your next project and make it a better film or a better, you know, TV show, a better script, whatever whatever that creative endeavor is, then maybe it's time to then take a step back from that and either, you know, reevaluate what you want to do, that sort of thing. I think in the same way as you know, making YouTube videos, right? I think a lot of people look at other creators' content and stuff like that, think, oh, hey, this is easy, I can do it myself. They do it, and where you have a weird percentage that I saw when I first started making videos, right, is like less than 1% of channels or something like that have over 100 subscribers. Because a lot of people start and never commit to something like that, right? So that's why it makes it so special when you have somebody that you see is very, very passionate about it and is willing to put in the work, willing to put in the effort, and then seeing somebody who breaks past that 1% barrier, right? Then break into an even higher echelon by making a Hollywood feature.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's such a cool track to see, because from our perspective, just getting over 100 subscribers on YouTube is a big accomplishment. Then you're 1,000, 100,000, million, so on and so on. But then being approached by a large studio, Blumhouse, A24, any other, you know, film studio, and saying, hey, we're going to give you $1 million to make a movie, $10 million to make a movie. And then that movie makes over 200 million.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a, you know, like a fever dream, I feel like, you know, and both these guys must be just exhilarated to see where they're at right now and where they started.
Yeah.
I know I would be.
No, it's very exciting. I think it's really important right now. Like, I think, you know, as the industry shifts, as we move on in the way we're going, I think it's great. One friend isn't showing up tonight that I kind of did want to talk about this with, but there was a big news story this week that is kind of relevant to the show that I did want to talk about. This one you have no real context for, but I will just kind of yap about it for a little bit.
Okay. I love hearing things I have no context for.
Doctor Who. No, we talked a little bit about Doctor Who when it aired. Its last season. You kind of listened to me yap, and you're like, "What the hell is going on in this wacky show that he's watching?" So this has been interesting. So where we left Doctor Who, I think I tried to swing at my bets when it happened in the moment, about a year ago at this point. But Shidigatwa, who was the current Doctor, stepped away. That it was his last season. We had learned there were some behind the scenes issues. It wasn't supposed to be his last season, but it was his last season. And he regenerated as one of the original companions of the series. One of the old actors was coming back to the role, and not even the role, like playing like an old actor is playing a new role from where she was. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like this is the equivalent of like Go playing the Flash.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, they they recast him as the Flash. That's weird, but whatever. Okay, we're doing this. Since then, we learned a lot of things. We learned that the Disney deal officially fell through, and that they were going to be exclusively back on the BBC full time, and that they were going to try and revamp the show. They had announced a Christmas special that was going to be coming out this December with the Billy Piper, this big returning actor, and they had said a bunch of really cool things. Like, oh, like the script looks really good, and how it's going to blow people's mind. It was this huge event thing, and as of this week, the Doctor Who Christmas special has officially been canceled. Russell T Davies and the producer Bad Wolf has stepped away from the series, and they will be taking a break from Doctor Who for a few years. And what's so interesting about this is that there was no Christmas special, apparently. They never wrote a Christmas special. They never actually planned to put out a Christmas special this December. Taz, imagine Robert Downey Jr. is announced for Avengers Doomsday. Imagine he's coming back. He's coming back as this different character. It's going to be a huge thing. Mm-hmm. And then next week, they're like, actually, we never filmed Avengers Doomsday. We never planned to film Avengers Doomsday. It was all fake. It was all it was all
an elaborate ruse.
And from what the sounds of it, it was kind of their plan to stall time. I guess they needed time as they kind of planned what was next for Doctor Who, and as they course directed. Obviously, Russell T Davies has officially left Doctor Who. They were kind of stalling for time, and the current plan seemingly is that they want to start really fresh with Doctor Who. They want to take a couple years off from the show. They want to reestablish who they are now without Disney once again, and reestablish what Doctor Who is, and take a breath. And which I think is all well and good. I think ultimately, I think it's what's best for Doctor Who. But I think the line is pretty insane. I think coming out and being like, yeah, we're giving the fans this cool thing, and then literally never having any plans to do so.
Right, having absolutely no intentions of doing so whatsoever is kind of crazy. Unless they're lying about that part to try to make it seem like an easier blow, but like that seems kind of weird, right? Like you would think that a studio or a production company, whatever, especially something that had ties to Disney, right? That you would think that they would be a little bit more open with, or a little bit more transparent and honest about what they're doing. Unless this was something kind of like a shareholder thing where they had to like show that they were in active development for something.
That's seemingly the idea, is that to keep the show alive, they kind of have to be like, we're
working on it, even if they're very like not really like it. Just like, okay, write a script, or just like say that we have this idea, just to kind of keep them off our back and just stall for time, which is that's just kind of weird, especially a property like this that has been around for as long as it has, and it seems to have as big of a fan base as it does, creating a new fan base with the Disney version of the show as well. I know that you seem to really like it quite a bit when you were covering it last year and everything like that. It seemed like they were going in an exciting direction for fans, so it's very odd to see again, like, that they would come out, say this thing is happening, and then retract it and basically say, nah, never mind. You know what this very much so reminds me of is the Dexter Original Sin Season 2 announcement, right? Is they said that it was happening, and then they were like, oh, did we say that? We actually never really meant to, we actually don't have any plans for that. Sorry about that, guys.
And then this is the other part of it. The BBC are legally having to put the show out on the competitive Tinder. So what they're trying to do currently is BBC still, like, the BBC still owns Doctor Who. They still have the full rights to the show, but Bad Wolf Productions has left the BBC. So they still own the show. New seasons will still go there, but they are now looking for a new production company to basically fund and push the show, and for they can actually make the show itself. So they are currently looking for new production companies, looking for new showrunners, and probably not yet, but eventually they will probably be looking for a new actor to head the new series of Doctor Who into the future, which I think, I think it sucks right now, because like the big commentary right now is Doctor Who has been canceled. Doctor Who is done. We're not seeing it again. It's gone forever. I do think that's a little bit of an over exaggeration. It could be, right? Like, they could fail to find someone else and it could just die off. That's technically a possibility. But I do think people are, freaking out a little bit. The show, this isn't the first time the show has been canceled. It was canceled back in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. It was off the air for like a long time. very, very long, almost 20 or 25 years. So it was off the air for a long time. And I think people are assuming, it's like this is that situation again. It's currently being suggested that the show will probably be off the air until at the latest 2028. Or I'm sorry, at the soonest 2028. With even other outlets saying might be up until 2030 until we see new episodes of Doctor Who, which is still a long time.
Oh.
That is we're looking at.
Do you think it's going to be like a reboot? By the time you get back around to new content, is it going?
I think it should be. I mean, Doctor Who with reboot is using the word lightly, because it's all canon. It's always has been canon, right?
Yes.
With the thing of the show is like every time you get a new Doctor, they usually try and do their own thing anyway. It's just kind of their new grasp on the show.
But I'm saying, what if they erase that canon? Kind of. Not necessarily erase it, but they say we're starting a new jumping off point in the timeline. And
that's what the 2005 show was, where everything else was still canon. It all still happened. They would reference it from now and again. Sometimes for a special episode, they bring someone back. But mainly, it was a new cast. They didn't really reference the old stuff. It was a new jumping on point for all fans all around, which is, I think, they desperately need.
Do you think that would be a way that they could say, like, bring back somebody that everybody loved? Like, bring back David Tennant and just be like, all right, we're going to just, like, kind of not start from scratch, but do something.
They could. I
just
don't
do something, like, almost play it safe in that regard.
I think that's been one of the main criticisms with modern Doctor Who is we keep bringing back David Tennant. It's like we keep bringing.
Wait, so he does keep coming. So he does keep coming back.
Every big anniversary episode is like, let's get David Tennant again. Yeah. Which I love. I love David Tennant. Yeah. I love him, but I want a completely restart. I want them to market as this is your new jumping on point for Doctor Who. This is your time to watch it. Get someone hip, get someone fresh. Get a showrunner that has new and fresh ideas. Get new writers that have a new, fresh perspective on the show. Now, that's very easy for me to say. I still have 5 seasons of Doctor Who left to watch. I just finished my 9th season, and I still have 5 more. So, not including the old stuff that I could go back and watch if I really wanted to. But I wanted to talk about that. We covered both season 1 and 2 on the show. I know Ben's a huge fan of the show as well, so we'll probably talk about that more when he returns to us. So
what you're saying is they need a new Doctor. Chat, spam this. #Darren for the Doctor.
I'm not British, but
you can do an accent.
Someone in our chat the other day said Tom Ellis as Doctor Who, and I'm like, I kind of really want that. I think Lucifer would make a fantastic Doctor.
That would be pretty fun.
That'd be so good. All right, we should be getting to the meats and potatoes of our episode today. We have a returning show, Taz.
We do.
A show that's a little bit of a homecoming for us, Taz, because we covered season 1 of the show.
We did.
And then you went away for a while.
I did.
And then me and Darth.
And the show went away for a while.
It did. I think me and Darth covered season 2. This is one of our first shows we've ever covered too.
Yeah.
After we did Flash and Superman and stuff, and then once that kind of went away, we covered My Adventures with Superman. Which is back for its 3rd season. Very little marketing going into the season, but it's back nonetheless. And I'm very excited about it. Tell us your thoughts on My Adventures with Superman. Obviously, we're now 3 seasons in. We've had 2 seasons, 2 fantastic seasons, in my opinion. Where do you kind of stand with My Adventures with Superman?
I mean, I love this show. I think from season 1, I really enjoyed it. This is it's a different take. It's a different art style. It's a different direction for Superman, but it still does feel very, very true to the character, right? So it's basically what if you took your favorite anime and your favorite superhero and just combine them and just smashed them together into one crazy show. And that's what you've got here. They're taking some liberties with the Superman mythos. They're doing certain things that you wouldn't necessarily expect them to do, like tying Supergirl so closely in with Brainiac and things like that. But the core of the Superman story is still there. You've still got your relationship between Clark Kent and Lois Lane at the center. You've still got your, Jimmy Olsen as Superman's best friend. You've still got the same kind of supporting cast that you would expect to have in a Superman project, the same kinds of villains and stuff like that. You've got your Lex, you've got your Brainiac. You had, tons of different, one-offs here and there, but then also some newer or different characters that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see in there either, like Deathstroke is such a big part of this Superman show, which is so weird, but so cool at the same time.
Yeah.
And he looks like, I don't even know, like a Pokemon trainer or something like that. Like, but he looks cool. He's just
it's Jerry from Rick and Morty.
Yes, it is. It is. But I love it. I love the design. I think he's very cool. And I know we talked about season 1. We didn't really talk about season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I liked season 2 a lot. I don't think it was quite as good as season 1, just because I did like kind of the origins and everything like that. But I really did love all of the ideas that season 2 presented and everything that it built upon from all of the mysteries that were established in season 1. Like everything with Brainiac and Supergirl, I think that was the strongest point of the season. In my mind, there almost wasn't enough Superman in season 2 for me. Like, I think that if it were marketed and dove even heavier into the Supergirl stuff, I would have much rather them say, okay, first season is My Adventures with Superman. Second season is My Adventures with Supergirl. Third season now is My Adventures with the Super Friends or something like that, right? Like, you know what I mean? I think maybe going deeper into that, because again, season 1, great origin for Clark. Season 2, we got, 90% of Kara's backstory and everything like that. Season 3 now, we're kind of picking up the pieces from the end of season 2, seeing where Supergirl kind of fits in, on Earth and everything like that, her relationship with Jimmy Olsen, her, friendship and superhero partnership with Clark and everything like that, and seeing how the two of them mesh. Somebody who has grown up on Earth and knows its ins and outs versus somebody who grew up on Krypton and knows more about kind of the cosmic side of things, and seeing how the two of them kind of not necessarily clash, but kind of butt heads, have differences of opinion and things like that. So I think that was really good. Premiere episode here for season 3. I think it was a good jumping off point. I think it kind of slowly eased us back into the style and the story, and kind of caught us back up to speed, and like, all right, this is what has been going on since the last season. We've got new suits for both Clark and Kara here, which I really love as well. Seeing how kind of all of the relationships have kind of grown a little bit since we last checked in with everybody as well. But then we get kind of the big crux of the episode, which will leave the door open for a lot of interesting things to happen throughout the season. And kind of before we go into that, Darren, go into your, I guess, thoughts and everything before we kind of get to the big stuff of the episode.
I love the show. I think we put the show in our maybe S tier when we did our
it was pretty high up there
ranking, either like high A or low S or something like that. I love it. I do overall like season 1 more. I think 2 has the highest highs. Like, I think the Supergirl, Superman, Brainiac stuff was the peak of the show so far, and like those last several episodes are like good TV, just like really good television. Some really great stuff. And so going into this season, I've been very excited. I've been very curious. This seems to be their most ambitious season yet. And I'm really curious because I think it's either going to be really good or maybe bloated, because I'm curious, because I'm like, well, you have Superman and Supergirl and Bizarro and Cyborg Superman and Superboy. I'm like, this could either be peak, or it could be a complete mess of
just too much stuff going on. And I don't know how much you've seen, like, discussion-wise about this season. I saw something that was said about the possibility of Superboy in this season being kind of like a parallel to not only like a character that we saw in the Flash, but also a
Yeah.
parallel to kind of like a Dragon Ball Z kind of character as well. I don't have to get into that if you don't want to.
I don't know the Dragon Ball Z thing, but I
Yeah.
would bet money right now Superboy's from the future. I would
Okay.
bet big
Okay.
money because I think like we can get into
Yeah.
spoilers, guys, if you have not seen it.
Yeah.
The big commentary I saw going into this episode before I even saw the episode was like they gave Bizarro the Superboy like backstory. I was like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? When we're
You're
getting Superboy
right. I didn't
episodes?
even clock that. I was like,
Because
oh,
he's
it's
from
so
the future.
interesting that they're making Bizarro the like
Yeah.
you know the basically the Cadmus clone.
Yeah, it's because
Huh.
Superboy's from the future. They're going to,
And he's not even
it's
talking
set up.
backwards.
No, and it's clearly setting up. Like the whole theme of the
Yeah.
season is about change and accepting future, and Lois
Well,
being
and think
concerned about their future.
Right, and what did Clark say? What was one of the first conversations they had? He's like, "Oh, I'm looking at houses. I'm looking at school districts. I'm doing this and that and that." And it's just like,
Yep.
Clark, why would you say that unless you might be getting a visit from somebody in the future?
Yep. It's a tale as old as time. If I had a nickel every time a DC TV show introduced a future,
future child,
or like a future child storyline, because you did it Flash, you've done it.
Oh, Arrow,
Lucifer.
Yeah. Yes.
There's probably another. I mean,
kind
Justice,
of.
I guess.
kind of Superman and Lois, because at the end we get that flash forward, like they didn't come back, but like we did see that a little bit. I mean, the kids were already there, but then now here, so the Dragon Ball Z comparison that I've been seeing people make is to Trunks, because he's got the same sword, or not the same, but like he's got a sword and everything like that, and obviously there's a lot of anime inspiration here. So if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you can kind of draw some of those comparisons as well. But yeah, I think that if they do this future storyline, that Superboy is a their son from the future, not a clone. That this is whether they go with Jonathan Kent Superboy or Connor Kent Superboy or something else completely. I think that we are going to have a really fun version of this character, and it's going to be very interesting to kind of see a Reign of the Supermen storyline where it doesn't seem like Clark is going to be dead, because for a second there I thought that they were going to have Clark like sacrifice himself at the end of this first episode and like be dead and let all the other Supermen come in there. But like maybe they'll. Yeah,
I would kind of love to see this show's take.
Yes, because you have so many other super powered characters, and like it would force Kara to step up a little bit. It would force then this version of Superboy and Bizarro to work together. It'll be very interesting to see what's going on with Cyborg Superman, because he's going to be controlled by Lex.
Maybe,
and then maybe we end up getting a Doomsday out of something.
Maybe you don't even have to do it complete. Like maybe you don't even have to fully do Death of Superman. Maybe you can just I think Smallville did this, where Clark didn't die, but he got like sent to another planet or something, and all the friends, like all the group, thought he died or something. They had to mourn him and stuff like that. Like again, I don't think we're going full Zack Snyder. He's dead, and we're seeing I don't know if it's that kind of show. I don't know if they want to go that far in like a super deep emotional, but I could see a world where like they think he dies, like they do a thing, they think he's died, and he's like trapped on he gets sent through a portal or something, and so you still get all the steps of like Lois mourning,
a Death of Superman, but like without actually killing Clark. Yeah, or maybe like send him to the future, and then you get like a Legion of Superheroes kind of thing.
Oh, that would be sick. That'd be sick.
And that's how you introduce maybe like your Brainiac 5 and your Mon-El and all that stuff. Now we're talking.
The whole Legion in this universe would be
now we're talking.
Like, especially with how like Supergirl focused the show is, I could see.
Oh, well, man, I wonder.
Animated like spinoff with
my adventures with Supergirl, and with they throw her into the future with the Legion, just like they did in the Tomorrowverse.
Yeah. That'd actually be sick. That'd be pretty sick.
I would love to see that.
That'd be sick.
But I think they're setting up, though, a really, probably from what they've been talking about, a friendship between her and Jessica Cruz, though. So there will still be some stuff for her here in present day.
I think showrunner said they're only doing Reign of the Superman and not Death of the Superman. Yeah, I think that works with what we talked about. Like, again, don't fully do Death of Superman, but I think to do Reign of Superman, I do think Clark has to be gone for at least a little bit for that storyline to work.
Or maybe they're just throwing it on its head. Maybe they give us Reign of Superman first and then hit you with the Death of Superman.
Yeah.
Is maybe he builds up and, is training all these other Supermen while fighting maybe some evil Supermen.
Mm-hmm.
Lex then takes all the evil ones, makes his Doomsday clone, kills our Clark, or kills Clark, and then it's up to everybody else to kind of take over there.
I will say that is my only concern currently is, like, not necessarily this season, but where we go post the season, having potentially 5 Kryptonian characters walking around being superheroes is a little... We've seen a lot of CW shows that struggle when, like, what happens when you have too many superheroes walking around.
Yes, but no. But for the second time though, Dragon Ball Z. You've got Goku and Gohan and Vegeta and Trunk. And, like, everybody's got, everybody's a Saiyan. Like, everybody's got powers. Like, it just makes stuff even cooler that you have people on the same power level.
Then you can just
make you have to make more powerful adversaries though. Like, we could bring in Zod.
Like, with 5 Kryptonians, they'd beat the shit out of Zod.
I don't know, but he's got, like, maybe like a Kryptonian army. I think something very cool for this show to do. Did you ever look at the Doomsday Clock story where they brought Jor-El back and they had Dr. Manhattan and everything, and basically Jor-El was kind of a bad guy? Something like that might be very interesting.
I'm not opposed to it. I do just kind of put that concern out there, though. It's just like, you gotta watch yourself. Like, you gotta.
Short car. I love this theory. So
I could. Actually would be kind of a fun way to do it. I mean, I guess that's very Flash coded, very lucid for kids, but, like, the Death of Superman exists, and the season is about preventing it instead of actually happening.
Is because maybe this Superboy comes from a future where he grew up without his father.
That'd be a nice
I think that'd be very cool.
Be very cool. I did see this. Apparently, they're talking about Batman and the Shooterverse. Yeah, they said they had they had said, like, oh, they have a way that they think that they'd like to do it. Hot take, I'm down for it. Obviously, out of all the shows, Batman is low on my list of ones I want in the My Adventures universe currently. Like, at least. Like,
well, I don't think we need it. I think My Adventures is going to be good for showcasing characters that you might not necessarily initially think should have an animated series. And we've already got Batman Cape Crusader as well. Like, we don't need the umpteenth Batman animated series. Not that it wouldn't be good or anything, but we don't need another one.
I'm down if he exists. I'm down for him showing up, and you can have your team ups. I would love eventually if we can build to, like, a Justice League show, and like, or just, it doesn't have to be a show, but in general, that's fine. But I would much prefer a Wonder Woman series, because Wonder Woman, still to this day, has never had an animated series. She's never had.
Interesting. You're right. She's had the animated movies and stuff like that.
She's had a live action show before, but, like, Wonder Woman is so needed, in my opinion. And in the style, I would love a Flash family show.
Yeah.
In its anime style. Oh my god, it would look so good. It would be so cool.
And you could just do
maybe they could do My Adventures with Nightwing. Oh, see? I would be much more down for Nightwing. I think Nightwing,
or My Adventures with the Bat Family.
I think Nightwing would work better in this style. Like, I cannot imagine a full Batman show with this energy and the style. Like, you could for sure, but it feels like a different vibe, which would be fine, I guess.
I mean, Basically, honestly, I'm pitching basically the Gotham Knights game as an animated show.
Okay.
You know, so you've got Nightwing, you've got Red Hood, you've got a Robin, and Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a fun show.
Fair.
Batman doesn't even have to be dead. He could be on vacation or something. I don't know. Chilling with Talia al Ghul in the League of Assassins for a minute.
I get the reputation I hate Batman. Like people say, "Oh, you hate Batman." I'm like, no, there's so many characters.
Darren doesn't hate Batman. Gotham Knights is his favorite TV show, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the one show without
Batman. That's true.
But no, we're getting 2 Batman movies and an animated show and so many games. I'm like, Darren again. I
like this one.
Maybe.
I like this one.
Maybe. All right, we got another friend popping in here to join the party.
Who's this guy?
Mr. Joypad Jerk. What up, buddy?
What's up?
We're talking about My Adventures with Superman and how much we hate Batman.
Fuck Batman. If there's one thing Titans is ever going to be known for, it's that.
That is true.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that is
very
true.
That is one hell of a legacy, isn't it?
Have you seen the first episode, Jake, of My Adventures?
Yes.
What did you think?
Out of the 3 starts of the seasons we've gotten, it's probably my favorite. Just looking at the 3 pilots alone.
Nice.
I might agree. I'm trying to think back. I
really liked the pilot, the season 1 start.
I think the season 1 is still on top for me, but this one was really good. Also, I do want to throw another theory out there. Something else that Clark mentioned was having a dog. So I think Crypto is coming this season as well. I really hope Crypto shows up, even if he's like a final end stinger. Like maybe it's just like one final experiment, and and then you pay off this joke too with Kara, where she's like, "Is that a dog? Is that a dog? Is that a dog?" Like
you're right.
I think that it has to happen, right?
That's the season.
Like the end. That has to be the end stinger for season 3, and then like Kara says something like, "Oh, that can't be a dog." And then,
don't fly.
Yeah, that can't be a dog. He's flying.
That didn't even click to me, but you are.
Yeah.
They're totally going to do that. They're totally
yeah. Crypto's definitely going to be there.
That's a good observation. I do like where we're setting up for Supergirl to go this season as well. I think that's something I really wanted them to lean into after last season, because last season was obviously great, and I think Kara was the highlight of that season for me. But I was like, going into season 3, I was like, I really want them to address, even though this is a light and funny show, she did commit genocide on a global scale, unseen by so many people, and I wanted them to address that. Like
that is true. That is true. This Supergirl does have a lot of baggage. Like she's seen some stuff. Like
that's something that a lot of the better adaptations of Supergirl have when you contrast them to Superman. Like on one side, you have the lighthearted, happy, go-lucky sort of nature, and then on the other end, you have this, jaded, scarred, brooding Kryptonian nature that, it looks like the upcoming movie is actually going to showcase very well. But Kara remembers everything that happened on Krypton originally, so by default, she kind of has that more jaded nature to her. And I think this show has done a good job of kind of having that dynamic bounce back and forth between the 2 characters really well.
I could see this being my favorite version of Supergirl by the end. Like, Melissa will always have a very special place in my heart. Like, she's like up in my S tier in the like nostalgia tier of just like, I know she's not the most accurate version of the character, but she's doing her thing. And then obviously we'll see what Millie does with her take on the character. But this is a TV show where they're going to have hopefully several seasons to build up this character and to really show what they can do. And based off of the second season, and so far I think in season 3, like the first episode, she's been my favorite character, and some of the more like interesting stuff they've given her. And I think her stuff this week of like, who are you? Like who is Kara or Kara Zor-El? Like who is this character? who are you without me? And like, who are you next to someone like Superman, someone who is the symbol of hope and goodness and kindness in a world where you have like, again, committed genocide on a scale that we can't even imagine. And I do really like the contrast with Bizarro, where like you are a good person. You chose again and again to be a good person, and Kara, I think, is looking at that as like I didn't make that choice. I didn't have that person telling me, hey, you should be good. And I think that's really interesting.
And it's good to see that with her now, because we've seen Clark over the course of this series have to determine, like, who is Clark Kent without Superman. And he's, been coming to that identity over the course of these 2 seasons. So having somebody else posed with that same question while he has already done it, but that person's having to, have those inner thoughts to a much larger degree because of their past, it makes for really good drama.
Agreed.
Yes.
What up, Ronan? What up, buddy?
Was good.
Yeah. The Bizarro stuff itself, we kind of skipped over a little bit earlier, Taz. Definitely the most unique version of Bizarro that I've seen. I think they're definitely taking some liberties. Jake, we already kind of talked about how they literally gave him the Superboy treatment because we think they're going a different direction with Superboy with the future. But I like it so far. He's very like Solomon Grundy coded so far. He's kind of like
a little bit
mindless dog a little bit, but I'm down for it. I'm down to see where they take it.
I mean, there was an animated movie a while back. At least I'm pretty sure it was an animated movie where they did that similar thing to Bizarro. I wish I could remember what movie it was off the top of my head, where he's kind of presented as that. And he's got the Superman paint job, but it's a very disfigured, ugly, for the most part, brainless kind of figure. I'm wondering, I really wish I could remember what movie I'm talking about off the top of my head, but it did remind me of that depiction.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Was it the one? It wasn't the one with like Darkseid and Supergirl and stuff like that, was it?
I don't think so. No, because I want to say it was one of the ones animated in the DCAU art style.
Okay.
Which makes me think.
Because I know that they did like was it a duology or a trilogy with Death of Superman? Because they did Death of Superman, Reign of the Superman,
and then Reign, and then that was it for those.
Okay. Okay.
But like 15 plus years back, they did like Superman Doomsday in 2007.
Yeah.
And then, which it might have been that one that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And then they also did like Brainiac Attacks too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those that I'm thinking of. I have the image clearly in my mind. It's like Superman and Bizarro coming to the screen and trading punches with that disfigured looking Superman figure on the left. I can see it clearly. I just can't exactly remember where it's coming from. Sorry, Darren, for the sidebar, but
you're good.
I'm just, the fact that I can't remember it right now is kind of bothering me.
Yeah.
But no, to your point, like they did kind of go the that approach where you think they're going one way and then they subvert it and go another, which we know the last time that was done in Superman media, they did end up going full circle around and doing what we thought they would. Is there going to be some crazy twist where they kind of do that again in their own way?
Possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
Like we talked about before you got in here, Jake, about how if they're ever going to do the death of Superman and ways around that, ways of doing that storyline without actually killing him, and what they're going to do. But yeah, I'm definitely like, I think this universe is one. I kind of think this is another universe where you kind of have to go in with a little bit of like the Smallville Gotham mentality of like, this isn't your normal DC universe. Go in with a mentality of like, they're kind of going to do what they want. And like, I think Deathstroke is a great example, being like, listen, that's not your classic Deathstroke. Don't put him against like Manu Bennett and stuff like that. He's a
or like Teen Titans cartoon Slade or something.
Yeah, like this show does kind of, it's very like willy-nilly with what they do in terms of an adaptation, and I'm fine with that. Like I think it makes for some very interesting storylines, and it keeps us guessing, being like, oh, it's not the 10,000 Superman story we've seen again and again and again, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I mean, even if they do repeat some story beats, what I always love about these different depictions, if you're able to tell the same story beats but present it in a fresh new way, it keeps it from feeling repetitive. Because case in point, Death Superman is a story we've seen done time and time again, but whether you're looking at in a way that Superman and Lois would do it, or even a way that the DCAU did it, or DCAMU did it. Sorry. The way they present it makes them both stand out as unique versions of that story.
Yeah. Shout out to Michael Emerson for being part of the cast still.
Yeah.
Obviously, he returned as Brainiac, but he also played his little robot Fortress drones too, which I was like, oh, that's a nice way to kind of keep him employed and as part of the cast, because he is honestly one of my favorite actors of all time. I love Michael Emerson. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah, it's crazy to have him in this animated series too.
I would say this is, out of the 3 roles, I'd say it's the best thing he's ever done in the comic book space. Out of the 3 roles,
he was so good in season 2. I wanted him to just do it again in the DC.
I wouldn't have minded.
Yeah, he would be. I'd like to see that.
Fantastic. And then I guess the final thing I have for it is, we're definitely continuing the build up of the Jimmy Kara dynamic, which I thought it's adorable. It's cute. It's fun.
Jimmy Flamebird.
She's like trying to date her way through Metropolis while just not even remotely cued into the fact that Jimmy's got feelings.
It's very adorable. It's very cute. I think, it's very it's like weirdly innocent the way they're doing it, because it's like Kara doesn't have, she doesn't know what it means to be in a relationship. It's just like Jimmy is a person she likes to be around and likes to do things with, and I think for her it's probably not needing to be defined by a title or some kind of wording or whatever. It's just like Jimmy's her person, it seems like, and they watch movies together, watch TV, and they hang out and whatever. I think it's so adorable. And also it's she probably doesn't know the idea of what a relationship is. So I also really respect Jimmy being like, I'm just gonna just let it happen, see how it goes. I did think it was very. It's obviously gonna be an arc for Jimmy this season, but her she can go anywhere and be she is a superhuman. There's no way she's gonna want me. She's gonna go out there and go on all these adventures and stuff, and I'll be stuck here. She is better people. So
it's just the reverse Lois and Clark, though, is all it is. But I think it's a fun little parallel.
I feel like Lois was always a lot more confident, though. I think Lois always has this kind of element of confidence.
Yes, 100%.
And Jimmy is not the number one reporter at the Daily
Planet. He's feeling inadequate, I guess, is the best way to put it.
And that's my only somewhat fear going forward is I don't want it just to feel like we're putting these two together because they're the other male and female co-stars. We've seen that in other shows in the past. And so as long as it feels unique to them and their own characters, and it feels natural, which I think so far it's felt very natural to me. It hasn't felt super forced.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some little cute moments and everything like that. They were, when Clark was passing out the candy and stuff like that, and him and Lois kind of huddled up together, and then she looks over at Jimmy and brings him closer or whatever. I think that's kind of cute, because he's she's looking and trying to seeing how things are done. So I think that's a nice little touch there.
Yeah, that general appreciation for mundane, or what we might consider mundane human acts is kind of nice.
Very cute. Yeah. Shout out to the it's a little on the nose, but I got a chuckle out of it. Out of the, you're a bird, you're a plane. You're Superman.
Yeah, Superman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's adorable. All right, I like it.
This is a small side note too. I love whenever other comic book related mediums that aren't even Superman or DC related, they throw that in somehow. There's one just vivid example I can think of in one of the Spider-Man games from 20 years ago, where someone looks up and is like, "Look, it's Spider-Man," and you hear him, and it's one of the movie games, so it's Tobey Maguire, and he's saying, "Just stay away from the bird and plane metaphors. That's that other guy."
Yeah.
It's like little stuff like that that just gives
Yeah.
that particular phrasing its charm because of how long it's been around.
Or underdog. I remember, what did he say? It's not bird nor plane nor even frog. It's just little old me. Underdog.
Yeah, and then there's even
absolute straight
yeah.
bars.
There's that one of like Bruce Campbell giving a game tutorial trying to teach the player how to jump, where he's like, if you jump far enough, you can even leap tall buildings in a single bound. I mean, you're not quite as impressive as that other guy, but I'm sure you have a wonderful personality.
Yeah.
It's like, great
I do
stuff.
love those tutorials. Like, I saw somebody repost those recently. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how great those were.
It's like they're either really great or terrible. There is like no in between.
Yeah.
I've never seen Underdog.
You've never seen Underdog?
That movie turns 20 next year.
I know.
Oh,
dude, that was such a... Underdog is one of the reasons why I had 2 beagles growing up. And I'm not joking.
Oh, man.
It was Underdog and then the Shiloh book / movies as well.
There was one that was like, one that was admittedly made for like, young kids that I saw playing. I want to say it was called like Fire Dog. Does that title ring a bell?
Firehouse Dog.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that one years ago. I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry about that sidebar.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking up this like Jessica Cruz photos and stuff like that. We're gonna be talking about here in a second. But if I have to see this, so do you guys. Look at this concept art of Dwayne Johnson in.
That's interesting.
You don't like it?
Was this really their game plan?
It's like they're making costumes for him in a game.
This is somehow relevant to my adventures as Superman, I promise. Let me.
There better not be a dad joke buried into all this.
No, it's actually relevant. So yeah, we got our first look at My Adventures, or actually, I don't know if it's from My Adventures. I think this is actually just
with
from
the
season
Rock.
3.
Kidding.
Yeah. But our first.
Yeah, I think it's My Adventures season 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be this season. Which, for those of you who don't know, she's going to be played by.
Oh shit! I just looked over there.
Oh yeah, right. It is the Moana connection.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
So I'm really excited about this. I think we have a description for the show as well. Let me actually look and see if I can find that.
Yeah.
Which I'm this is like very much like My Adventures with Superman. This seems like they're going with a very different take on the character, which I know has been pretty controversial so far. But I'm open to see kind of what they do with it. So My Adventures with Green Lantern. We'll see what happens when a power ring falls from the sky and chooses the shy and kind-hearted high school student Jessica Cruz, which I think is one of the big, oh wait, she's in high school things I think a lot of people weren't expecting. It to be its new champion. Things get even worse when more dubious from the Lanterns, ancient space war arrives along with their alien foes. To protect the Earth, Jess will have to overcome her fears, anxieties, and your typical teenage drama to lead a new Lantern Corps against a terrifying foe.
Ooh. Oh, that was Debris. I didn't see it. I wasn't reading.
Okay.
I wasn't reading along with you. I was like, ooh, dubious. I like that word.
I kind of like, I know like the high school thing is people are gonna be like, high school, they're making her younger, whatever. I kind of like it in the concept of it being a Lantern show. Like I kind of like someone who is like going through the biggest changes in their life to have to deal with like managing their anxieties and their fears. And
does it remind you of Ben 10?
I was about to say it's kind of Ben 10, like Alien Force.
It's very it's very classic superhero. It's very like.
Or Spider-Man. Yeah, Spectacular Spider-Man, yeah.
And, you could say it's very...
Even like the Super Sons and Superman and Lois, even those times.
You could say it's very early.
Yes. Correct.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see a high school. I think there's a lot of possibilities. I think there's a lot of cool things that they could pull from.
No comment.
I think wasn't there another photo too? One with like Tara or something.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. I might have had something saved as well. Did I?
Let's save that.
Jeffrey, sorry. What are you talking about down there?
I'll look at it in a second.
Oh, here, I got it.
You found it?
Okay. Yeah. Let me share screen.
Stargirl had a high school
You're right.
lantern as well. They did.
Oh yeah.
What is this photo?
Yes.
Where Supergirl's being interviewed, and it seems like she stands up to ask a question or something. I guess, is that Cat Grant?
I think we saw Cat Grant previously, didn't we?
I believe so. At the planet, you're right.
Was that who like Clark was almost entangled with for a second in season 2? Wasn't there like a reporter character that he like almost hooked up with or something, or like
I don't remember.
Wasn't that a thing?
Honestly, I don't remember a lot of season 2.
I need to rewatch
I wish that
Yeah.
I wish that they had done a little recap, because season 2 felt like it was so long ago. I know season 1 obviously was much longer ago, but season 1 I remember a lot more just because I feel like I paid more attention to it.
That's funny.
But
That's
yeah.
funny. In fairness, I don't think she'll be a Lantern yet. I have a feeling maybe like
I think it's just Jessica Cruz, and then there again probably the stinger at the end. She'll get the ring or something.
Would you say she's a little too green?
I'm curious.
You're a little too green to be a Lantern, kid.
Do we know if this is next week's episode? I assume so, with the photos coming out this week. But
you're right. It might be.
Or it could be like a Daredevil Born Again thing where Jessica Jones is like teased early on, but then doesn't appear until about halfway through.
Sure. I only would guess it's next week because I think the marketing for the show, and I love the show, sucks. They don't like marketing the show at all. It's like bare minimum, fine, we'll put something out for it, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna be moving on to our next show. Any final thoughts on My Adventures or with either of the My Adventure shows before we move on?
No, I mean, Crypto, Superdog, Superboy's Trunks, and I think that's about it.
Alrighty. We don't have to talk about this one too much. We're literally so late, and one of our members haven't finished the show yet, so we'll just kind of talk non-spoiler, basic things about this one. But we have Spider-Man Noir. Season 1 dropped 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Last week in May?
Yeah. So
this
like
has
2-3 weeks.
Yeah. This has been an interesting show because this has been in development for a couple years. It was this show and the Silk show over at Prime Video. Obviously,
I forgot about that one too.
Silk no longer moving forward.
Yeah, they forgot about it too.
Yeah.
Like this is a weird show because, like, obviously Nicolas Cage first appears in the Spider-Verse movies, and while this isn't a spin-off of that, it's like
they thought it was.
It's very like ambiguous, and I think it's ambiguous for a reason.
It's like adjacent to it, and it like you can draw some comparisons and say, oh yeah, it is connected, but also other things to be like, maybe it's not.
There's a thing that happens, I won't say what it is, but there's a line that's said in the final episode, Taz.
Oh.
That is kind of like, it's not saying it is the same version, but it's saying, hey, this could be the same version if we want it to be down the line.
Well, because there was a line earlier in the season that I caught, and I messaged you immediately when I heard this line, was something like, oh, if you hadn't changed your name, like it would have been easier to track you down.
It's a very similar line as that in the final episode.
Right.
They kind of
So I'm guessing like the implication is, okay, maybe he was Peter Parker at some point and then changed his name to Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
Like that could very easily be explained away. But why was he Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Verse going by Peter Parker? if he was then going to just change his name to Ben Reilly. I get, unless that only happened after his wife was killed.
Yeah,
right?
maybe the Spider-Verse movies take place before he changed his name, or
you're right.
way after. Like, it could take place, and actually, I think that's a little bit more believable because this.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. You're right.
Like he doesn't feel as. Like, he feels a lot younger in the Spider-Verse movies. He's bouncing around, he's swinging about. I don't see this exact version of the character moving about the way this guy has been.
No.
This is a story about a guy out of his prime getting back into it.
He's like a grizzled, rusty old soldier.
Yeah.
He's like Logan Spider-Man at this point.
Speaking of Logan Spider-Man, just a small thing. This upcoming week, alongside Toy Story 5, Tough Competition, that Hugh Jackman Death of Robin Hood movie's coming out.
That is
and I explained that it's basically like, kind of a Logan mixed with Arrow, just going off of like teasers and tone. And guys, I don't know, Toy Story 5 is probably gonna have a tough time beating it. No, it won't. But it'll still be fun to check that movie out.
Fun double feature.
Yeah.
Might actually be able to make a double feature this time, because I tried to do that last week and just ran out of time.
Fair. But yeah, I mean, let's start with you, Taz. Like, did you watch the first 8? Was that what you watched, or what?
No, the first
6, I mean,
6. Yeah,
first 6.
And then it's 7, 8 that I still need to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to keep track of what those episodes are, not to cross.
Yeah. What was the last? Spoilers. I was gonna say, what was the last thing?
Is that the hospital episode you watched?
Yeah, it was the hospital episode, and then the guy got the antidote, and they blew up the place, and Spider-Man has the antidote or something at the end of it.
Okay.
After being double crossed by Black Cat, or Cat, sorry.
Cat. Yeah.
Just Cat.
Not Black Cat. Yeah. That was my thing the whole season. I was like, I wanted to see Black Cat, but I was like, no, they're probably saving it. It's fine. I'll wait. I'll patiently wait.
Yeah. All I'm waiting for is for Nicolas Cage to say, "I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence."
Yeah. It's the first time they've ever called a Felicia Hardy character Cat in a live-action Spider-Man project, and also the first time Felicia Hardy's appeared for more than 2 minutes.
I was about to say, we haven't really had her at all.
No.
Well, she was going to be in Sam Raimi's 4th movie, played by Anne Hathaway, who would later be Catwoman, funnily enough. But then that didn't happen. And then she was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 briefly. A number of her scenes were cut. Yeah, like ever so briefly, and then she got a role in Rogue One. And then this role.
It sucks, too, because I think Black Cat would fit perfectly in Brand New Day.
Yeah.
With the story they're telling currently.
If you're trying to reset him back, it would be like the perfect spot to introduce her.
This is the one point where I'm like, he's not with MJ again yet. They're obviously going to do it by the next movie, I assume. Do it now. Like, now is the one time you can kind of get away.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too, is they've already done the Gwen Stacy story, so they don't have, we've seen that in prior movies, so we don't have to do that. We can do a different character, which would be very fun.
Yeah, especially with Tom's Spider-Man being someone who's aware of that specific story.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I just remember as soon as No Way Home had been out for a few months, people were speculating, what if they brought Black Cat into it? And then, every 5'3" petite blonde actress that they could think of was being fan casted as Black Cat. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. But Taz, what was your general thoughts? Based on.
I mean, overall, I thought that so far the show has been really good. I think it's maybe it's a little slow, and maybe that's why it's taking me so long to actually get through it. But I think it's very well made. I think it looks great. I've been watching it in the black and white version. I think that is kind of the definitive viewing experience. That's how the show is intended to be seen. I think that's Nicolas Cage's favorite way to see the show as well. So I think that is kind of, the way that it was intended to be viewed, and I'm enjoying it that way. Not that I don't think that I've seen scenes from, the color variation, everything like that, and they went into so much detail. This is such a very intricately detailed period piece, and it looks and feels like a product of the time that it's set in, right? Like it sounds like a movie from, you know, the 20s or the 30s or whatever. It looks like a movie from the 20s and 30s. The actors are acting like actors from movies in that time. They're not just acting like people from that time, but they are acting like actors would in a movie about or set in that time.
As a film school grad, I appreciated that.
Yeah, it is so cool. It is so well done, and I don't think I've seen anything else quite like it, you know, period piece wise or superhero project or, you know, anything like that. It's very unique, and I think, or I don't think rather, you would get somebody to play Spider Noir Ben Reilly in the same way that Nicolas Cage does, is because he is such a weird guy. Like, not gonna sugarcoat it, he's kind of a weird dude, but like his weird makes sense for this version of him. And like the more you learn about how they've kind of gone down this like body horror route with the, you know, with the Spider, not Spider-Man, not Spider Noir, but like how he's kind of fighting this constant battle to make sure that the Spider side of him does not take over, and that he has had to like relearn and teach himself how to act human. It makes sense as to why he's got all of these like different quirks and why he's kind of playing up his voice in the way that he's playing it up and everything like that. Like he sounds like somebody trying to imitate somebody from that time period, because that's exactly what he is. He's a dude. He's a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Another dude, exactly.
You know, like that's exactly what's going on here. And I love
watching him those early episodes. I was like, oh, they ripped these mannerisms straight out of, like, you know, Maltese Falcon, where Humphrey Bogart was Sam Spade. I felt so much like I was watching that, or like Murder My Sweet, which is another film from around that time. I got so many nods to those that are so clear. You have to assume that they're intentional, and it just gives you more of an appreciation.
Yeah, I think his performance. And the performance from, I think, a couple of his co-stars as well is what holds the show up for me. I think like just him doing his thing and being a weird little goofball, I think is kind of what makes the show so special and so beautiful. I watched the show in both. I watched the show every episode. I switched to black and white and to cover and to color, because I wanted to see both. I wanted to see how both were filmed. I wanted to experience both ways. And I'm glad I did, because it's gorgeous.
It was actually recommended by people from involved with the show to actually alternate over a couple episodes as the viewing experience.
Like I wasn't a huge fan of like the gatekeeping that I was seeing happening from some people online, where like, oh, like you have to watch it in black and white or you're not a real fan. I was like, that's so bogus to me. Like, that's so people should be able to watch the show any way that they're most comfortable. And like I asked 100%. My mom before, I was like, what do you want to watch it in? Because I'm watching it with you. I want you to feel comfortable. If you don't want to watch it black and white, we don't have to. But we ended up going back and forth, because I will say it has some of the best like cinematography I've seen in a show in a long time. Like, it's gorgeous. The color,
and you can see that and you can even see that detail in the black and white version though too, which is great.
Sure.
And that is why that's why it looks so good. It's because it was filmed as a color project that they then could put, you know, this black and white filter over, basically.
Yeah. Versus some other films that are shot with black and white as the color, and then have color added later.
Exactly. And I think that's the way to do it, especially if you're going to either have like a movie where you have a large portion of it in black and white, or a show or that sort of thing. So
yeah, for sure. I am curious about the future of the show. I think, you know, not to get into too many spoilers for Taz, but it ends in a way where I'd like a season 2. If they want to do another season, I'll be there when they drop another season. But if they don't, I'm also kind of okay.
Yeah.
I'm I think it ends in such a satisfying way, and I think they should probably make a lot more seasons like this, going in this current age of streaming and stuff just not getting extra seasons and things not being as received well. I think if it gets canceled or they just don't do a second season, I'm like, okay, that's fine, because I feel very satisfied with where it ends. It can just be this singular one-off story with this character, and it works super well for me.
Oh yeah.
So definitely interesting. There's things where I'm like, oh, I'd like to see where. I think Black Cat's the one where I'm like, I just want to see Black Cat, because we've just never seen it in live action before. So I'd like to see, and like, what does that look like in the like noir world? I think that's the funnest part. Is like, okay, it's this super grounded world, but in these villains especially kind of popping up and being like, oh, like this world isn't used to like the Sandman popping up. And I think
that
it's very Arrow season 1, where like there wasn't really that many heroes just kind of walking around, and so the world is so still like superpowers. That's a weird thing. Like we're not used to this kind of aesthetic, which I think is a really refreshing take on Marvel in the last couple of years, when you're 20 years into the MCU, and so when a villain pops up, it's like, yeah, of course they popped up. They pop up every week. Like it's just kind of like it's very established in those ways. And like the late Arrowverse was the same way, and DC currently is the exact same way. Like everyone's pretty used to superheroes just popping up, which I think is a good thing, but yeah.
I don't know.
It is nice to see a world in kind of its infancy, right? And again, especially because of the time that it's set in. So it's all new. It's all new to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And as we're learning about it, the characters are also learning about it. Like they know some things, like, again, Nicolas Cage. Ben Reilly has had his powers for a while and everything like that, and he's been around the block a few times as the Spider and things like that, and his buddy knows and everything like that, but like the general public is just kind of starting to understand, like, yeah, there was a guy that swung around dressed like a spider. He's kind of weird, but like I don't really understand what's going on there. And then now all of these other superpowered individuals are showing up that actually have more visually like tangible superpowers, and it's like, oh, okay, like what's really going on here?
And I think it adds to the era too, because it wasn't as accessible just to pull out your phone and take these photos of Spider-Man. Like it wasn't as like, yes, it was like reported on, but there was this element of like myth and mystery where it's like, is the spider real? Like maybe
larger
he was,
than life.
maybe he wasn't. Yeah, which I think it's really interesting, and I you saw the like military stuff, right? Like the like origin stuff for him.
Yeah.
Like that was I love that he was bit by a man spider opposed to the normal spider. That makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, when you factor in like the other sides of the noir comic lore and even previous iteration lore, where you have people like Vulture especially, who have a very cannibalistic nature to them. Him being bit by a man spider fits right in with that.
Yeah. Like almost contextualizing this as now my headcanon as the backstory for like the Spider-Man noir that you play as in like Shattered Dimensions or something like that. I'm like,
this
kind of fits. Yeah,
because like there's that mob, like there's the heavy mob presence. There's the connection to Felicia Hardy. There's looser adaptations of certain characters, but and then like I just mentioned with Vulture, you've got like those monster type characters in that world too. And weird and separate as some of it may feel, it feels like it all fits.
Right, and him using like the darkness and the shadows and everything like that to his advantage. Again, a visual that I think looks really good in that black and white style. I don't know how it looks in the color versions of it, but I would assume it looks just as good, if not even better. Again, using the darkness and the shadows and everything like that to his advantage, very similarly to the games and to the comics and things like that as well.
I also just kind of like thinking that like in this universe, this like I like to think there's no Captain America, and this is kind of their version of the super serum experiment. Like this was kind of they went in like weird creature routes instead of where they went with Steve, which I think is kind of a fun look around for that character. I think it's kind of fun just being like, oh, like in this universe this happened instead of this thing. It's like it's very what if coded, which I enjoy. I think that's where they should go. Not to get off track, but like I think that's where they should go forward with these what if stories at Marvel. Like one 20-minute episode was never enough, but like Marvel Zombies was like, oh, you could tell a whole season in this kind of what if scenario that I think is cool.
Yes.
Shortcar says I feel like it really came out. I feel like it really came and went, not a lot of online conversation. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the problem with dropping a show all at once. Full circle moment, huh?
I get it and I don't. I think I will say the first 3 episodes, while good, I do feel like they probably needed to come out together, those 3, because they're building episodes. It kind of builds up the story. And then episode 4 for me, I was like, oh, they found it. Like they found their footing. It took a couple episodes to find who they are and what kind of show they were. It takes you a minute to learn these characters and these dynamics and let it sit. And once it does, it flows. Like episode 4 leads into 5, leads into 6, leads into 7, leads into 8. Like those final 5 episodes are really good in my opinion. It just takes a minute to get there. So I do kind of get why they dropped the season at once. I do think it almost kind of works in their favor almost. But I would like going forward if it gets a second season to do the weekly if possible. Well,
that is the thing with Amazon. They tend to drop their first season all at once, and if it gets picked up beyond season 1, they do the week by week. So if it picks up for season 2, I hope they follow that formula.
Which I know had come out that like they had signed contracts for a potential season 2, and that's a good sign. Amazon doesn't typically cancel shows. Typically they will cough Gen Z season 3, but typically they don't cancel their stuff. So I feel as long as like Nicolas Cage is like free and available, I could see us getting a season.
And it seems like he really enjoys playing this character.
Yeah.
Like he just gets to go wild.
I mean, it's the best thing he's ever done in the comic book space. So,
what about the Flash movie? Well, I mean, Spider-Verse, Jake. Spider-Verse.
I'd say this version was better than that version. Even though I really liked him in that version.
What about Ghost Rider?
That first Ghost Rider movie is a lot of fun. That second one can eat a bag of shit, but I mean,
you don't like the scene where he like turns blue and starts like peeing fire?
You know the biggest indicator that I knew we were in for a much worse movie with that one? When you go from that badass, sleek, flame-painted bike in the first movie to that crumpled, brittle, whatever the hell, ugly bike in that second movie, I'm like, oh no. And then, the movie ended up being shit.
I remember watching them like as a kid. I think I got them from Redbox or something like that. And I watched the first. I watched the first one. I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And then, like, literally, me as a kid puts in the second Ghost Rider. I'm like, "This movie's kind of bad."
Yeah,
I don't like this. And also, I remember this very vividly. It was like kind of a scratched disc, so it skipped like 30 minutes in like somewhere towards the back end of it. Ooh. So I missed a bunch of stuff.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, this movie just doesn't make sense. Obviously because I missed a chunk of it, but also it was just a bad movie.
Yeah. I was like 12 when I saw the first one. And then I think the second one came out, I was like a junior in high school. So yeah, it's odd time for those movies, like right at that age where you're getting like, all right, now you're getting aware of things, and then all right, full blown cynicism after that.
Yeah.
But
I do still have some nostalgia for them. So
yeah, that first movie's still, I think, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Ronin, I've never been.
Definitely not the worst comic book film of 2007. That honor goes to Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Hey,
I actually liked that. I actually kind of liked that one. I think
Fantastic Four movie.
I think as a sequel, it was better than.
I think it's way better than the first movie.
Really,
I don't agree.
I would have to watch them again, but I would certainly prefer both of those movies over the new Fantastic Four that we got.
Wait. Last year's Fantastic Four?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you can quote me.
I have nostalgia for those two. I mean, I think Rise of the Silver Surfer was my first comic book movie I've ever seen. Like, it was my first.
All right. I'll allow that.
Unless it was Incredibles, if you count that. Either one of those two. One of those two.
I mean, you got one Fantastic Four movie or another Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, they're both kind of,
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we're back with some for X-Men 97. Back.
Guitar theme.
Which what are the episodes that we're talking about today, Taz? Yeah, there it is. Say it once, and now we're done.
Don't even have to say it.
7. Obviously, these are the follow-up episodes from the event that is episode 5. I think these episodes have a very high, a very high bar to set. A very important job for the rest of the season is how do you follow up episode 5, which was a big thing. We had so many theories going into episode 6 and where it would go, and you obviously had a lot of your theories last week, or not last week, but a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So let's start with episode 6, which is the
storm
return.
Episode.
Yes, the storm
Life, Death, Part 2,
and the return of Mr. Charles Xavier as well.
That too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how do you feel, buddy?
I thought Professor X was very different. Like, very different from what I remember. And again, maybe it's just because it had been so long since I had seen the original show, but like, it was very interesting seeing this version of Xavier, like, who had not necessarily forgotten who he was, but had distanced himself from his past life in order to sort of blend in, become accepted into this alien society, which I thought was a very interesting angle and something that I had never seen from Professor X before. So I thought that was a very interesting storyline, and I think kind of the whole like marriage with him and what's her name, Lilandra. Yeah. I think that was all very, very interesting. Like, there's a lot of story there that obviously we didn't see over the 1.5, 2 year jump that it's supposed to be from the initial finale, or the original finale of the 90s series. But I do like how it all kind of culminated in him trying to then show her people his way of doing things, go into the mindscape and everything like that. Classes in session kind of thing. I did like that quite a bit. And then he gets kind of this glimpse of some horrific event happening back on Earth, and he's like, ooh, screw all of this. I need to go back. I need to go back to my students. And I think that
like traumatizing, but like they were drinking wine and making love and dancing and just
they were having fun, and it just like
the giant Gambit skull falling upon him is so traumatizing. I do kind of agree. I love that actor that plays Charles. That's Red Skull. And he's Robot from Invincible, and like
I did not
fantastic
know that.
Actor. Yeah,
and in The Walking Dead too.
He's in The Walking Dead, one of my favorite characters in The Walking Dead. He's great. His Charles, I think, is okay. I don't hate him. Incredible. It's definitely, I think, the most different voice for one of these voice actors. Like, I think every other actor that was recast for the show is very much like, it sounds like them, really. Like, they're great fan casting. This is definitely he sounds different.
Fan casting?
Or not, I mean, not film casting, but like all the new
recasting.
Yeah.
Oh, question is Cyclops in '97? Is he the same voice that's voicing him now in Rivals?
Rivals?
Oh, yes. Rivals. Yes. Sorry,
Okay.
I thought you were going to say the old voice.
No. But yeah, so it is the same voice as
it's the same one.
He's doing it in Rivals too.
Yeah.
Which is great. Have you seen the things that he's been posting with Alex Lee? With Cyclops and Daredevil in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, the thing with them. Yeah, it's great.
Optiblast.
Yeah, they're actually bringing back a few of this X-Men crowd to play their characters because they added Rogue a little bit before Cyclops, and it's this same woman who played Rogue in both '92 and '97. Same voice. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
There were out of everybody that came back from '92 to '97, it was for playing their original characters. I think it was only 4 of them.
Okay, and what is
Rogue,
Wolverine,
Beast, and Storm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody else either was brought in to play a different character, was either played by a different actor, or you had actors like Chris Potter, who played Gambit originally in the '90s cartoon, but plays Cable now in '97. So,
right.
And then you have other characters that going back to that Motendo Jubilee arcade episode, that older kind of gritty Jubilee that you saw that had the spiky shoulder pads and everything. That older character that's played by the original Jubilee actress Allison Court from '92, and she's played the regular Jubilee is played by Holly Chow now in this series. I'm sorry, I know too much about this.
That's great. It's great though.
There was one other one that's brought over that I just remembered. Nightcrawler from '92 is same person in '97. Adrian Hope.
Okay. Very cool.
I do love the carryover of the who was a person without their memories storyline that we've been telling this season, and they've been doing that for a couple characters. Obviously, the big Jean plotline this season.
Yes.
Of do you love me or am I just a lovely memory? That whole stuff, and she might not be herself, and but is she the same person even if she doesn't remember who she is? And they tackle that in a different way with Charles, where it's they want him to remove the X-Men, remove his memories from Earth, and embrace this new lifestyle. And it's okay, sure, he could do that, but then he would
cease to be Charles Xavier at that point.
Who is he? He's been here for a year. He would have a year worth of memories. It would be nearly impossible. The person she's about to marry would be a different man.
Right.
So I think that commentary is very interesting and very fascinating, and I do like that we get a little philosophical with him and getting breaking down these concepts to a race that had never seen this perspective before. I thought was very interesting. I didn't like the ending of this episode the first time I watched it. And I'm still not sure how I feel about it, because my favorite thing about the pitch of the show was what is the X-Men without Professor Xavier? Who is how does Magneto stand up and lead the team and stuff like that? And so I'm not going to say what happens throughout the season or going into next season, but he's heading home, right? That's how the episode ends. And so I remember at the time I was no, I don't want that. I want stay up there, Charles. I want to see them do their shit on their own.
So here's my idea. He's gonna come home. He's gonna check on the kids. He's gonna wonder why they burned the gosh darn house down. He's gonna help fix everything, and he's gonna be like, peace. Going back to space. Gonna go get married to this alien from space that's also the queen of this planet or something, and I'm gonna go live happily ever after. If you need me, let me know. I'll be able to be in touch. Hit me up on Discord. Peace.
I like how this. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I like how this episode shed some more light on the Shi'ar side of things, because I always love that side of the X-Men world, and if you didn't see the original series, I think it catches you up very nicely. But if you did and you're familiar with it, then all the story beats that they're saying are clicking in your head and are tying together really well. Yeah. So it's just, kind of some extra credit there for you. And it was cool seeing characters like Lalandra, Gladiator, Deathbird, all those characters again, because, there were quite a number of times in the original series where the X-Men and the Shi'ar were often brought to conflict, and seeing kind of Charles be the one connecting thread that brings everything together was a nice touch. And to Darren's point, after he gets that vision, his priorities instantly switch, and I like that side of him where he's like he would rather go back into the nightmare that's real than keep living a dream that's a lie. And I like that aspect of it a lot.
Hello, Jason. Yeah, I think the ending also is like a good follow-up to kind of the what was talked about in episode 2, where Eric is like, you finally understand what I've known all this time. Charles Xavier isn't always right. And I think you see the human side of Charles in that moment of like, I don't think that's necessarily the best course of option. He's about to stop a war. He's about to potentially save an entire civilization. But at the end of the day, Charles is human. Charles, he's just like any of us, where he ultimately will crumble when it comes to things that's closer to him. The X-Men are his weakness, and so that moment of like throwing all the work he had just done away, probably hurting thousands upon thousands of lives, going away and not committing to this, I think is technically the wrong move for Charles. He should probably, technically on a moral standpoint, should stay and finish this out before going back home. But it's him, and it's those are his kids, and he has to go help them. He has to go save his kids. That's who at the end of the day, he's a good leader, he's a good mutant, but he's a father, and that's who he is. I like that.
We don't love the X-Men because they're perfect characters. We love them because they're real characters.
No, I think it's the realest thing Charles has done in this continuity so far is I like when they can allow Charles to be I think sometimes I think they often write Patrick Stewart's Xavier to be the perfect man, and he is the golden standard all the time. And I like that this at least in 97 they make him a very flawed character, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I really like that.
And he should be.
There are ways to do the flawed Xavier right and ways to do the flawed Xavier wrong, because, in Last Stand, when they try to do the flawed Xavier bit where they're like, wait, you put these psychic barriers up against Jean and her mind, it's like, okay, well, that's kind of objectively wrong. And the drama between him and Wolverine there felt very forced and not the right way to go about that sort of thing, where he's like, I don't have to explain myself to you. He's like, you messed with her mind without her knowledge. And it's like, yes, sometimes you could write that stuff better.
Mm-hmm. We, on the other side of that plot line, we had the second part of the Storm storyline, Life, Death Part 2, which was probably how they should have actually formatted, I think, the whole Motendo storyline. I think this worked a lot better. It's two separate storylines, but they
interweave. Yes,
I wish they did that with that episode
rather than having them very distinct. I like the back and forth. You're right.
It works a lot better for me. I know they had very different tones, so maybe it would have been hard for them to do, but I still think I should have probably attempted that. But with that being said, yes, they did finish the Storm storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Taz, how have you felt about where they've taken Storm this season so far?
I like the journey. I like kind of the idea that it's all very much so kind of a mental thing for her, that the power's always there sort of story. But it also does almost seem like it's an adventure for the sake of self-discovery. They had to give her a reason to appreciate who she is and what she has, so they had to strip it away from her, show her what her life could be like without it, and then basically say, okay, well, you don't necessarily have to do anything crazy other than just believe that you've got your powers back, and you do. Which was somewhat interesting, but not necessarily my favorite storyline of the season, honestly. Like I found the stuff with Professor X way more engaging in this episode, for me at least. Not that it was bad or anything like that. I just think that it did kind of feel very like very predictable where they were going with it. And again, I'm glad that we're at this point where she's got her powers back and then she can kind of rejoin the fight. But I do wish they had almost maybe made it a little bit tougher for her to get her powers back.
It's definitely my least favorite storyline this season.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad. I think this is their weakest storyline. Then you have an incredible season because I think it's
right.
So good.
Exactly.
But I do kind of agree. She just kind of get it back pretty easily.
It feels the most like a cartoon storyline, right? Like it feels the most like a kid's cartoon. Like, oh no, my powers are gone. Whatever will I do? Let's go on this journey of self-discovery, and you had the power beneath you the whole time. Now I just need to make sure I believe and I can use my powers. Like that's kind of how it felt.
Unfortunately, I think they needed her gone from the Genosha storyline because
just to make sure she didn't get killed.
With that too, I think she's too powerful. Like she would literally raise hell. Like she is the character that she is such a mother character, and her seeing that happen, I think she would immediately go to Genosha and raise it. Like I don't think she could have been.
Well, my only, I guess, devil's advocate to that would be you literally had Madeline Pryor and Jean Grey both in the vicinity of it, and neither of them really did anything.
Well, I kind of mean post, like.
Okay.
Like I think she's like, I think Storm is kind of a failure of their own success. Like I think Storm is so powerful that they sometimes struggle how to write her sometimes. Like I think especially how you introduced her in the season. Like she's like MVP of the team by far. She's showing her shit. She's doing such big things. And we'll see that as we go into the back half of the season here, as she's officially kind of seen the events and seen what happens. I don't know if they knew how to write her in this storyline. I think maybe that is why they kind of been like, go over there and do that thing over there. I definitely like where, like, I think the scene itself when she gets her powers back, she's flying.
Yes, that was very cool. Yes,
such a cool moment. Yeah.
And like the costume redesign and stuff like that, that was cool to kind of give her like the ultimate look and everything like that.
Yeah, I prefer the cloaked 90s look, but I thought this one was it still looked cool. I just generally prefer that like all white with the red emblems on the shoulders look for Storm, because I mean, granted, you can call it nostalgia. That's just my preferred look for that character.
Yeah.
But I thought this still looked good. I'd say that out of like all the medias that it's been in, like I like the way it looked here, even though I didn't dislike it in this other show. I think it looked way better here than in something like Wolverine and the X-Men. Even though I didn't dislike how it looked, I just think it was better done here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm definitely. I don't know. Okay, that's what I was going to say. I'm also not a fan of the Forge stuff. Not that I dislike Forge. I think Forge as a character is great. I don't like the immediate, like, you're my queen and I love you and, like, you're the love of my life.
Oh, yeah, that was all. I was like, did I miss something? Like, where did this... Like, why are they doing my eyes that? Every time?
Like... And like I think what's worse is she kind of like reciprocates it at the end. Like I think it makes sense as someone would like idolize Storm. Of course you would. She's a goddess. Like I get it. I get it, Forge. I do. But her immediately being like yes, my love, we'll go off together. I was like, what? What the hell? You just
like this guy like just kind of like this guy kind of also betrayed you like immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Some weird stuff going on there. Like this storyline was like. This storyline was not necessarily... It just feels like it wasn't thought out as thoroughly as everything else this season.
And I think it stands out because it is such a great show. Like, I think everything else is almost at, like, a 9 or a 10 for me. So this one thing is like
a 7 out of 10 storyline was just kind of like, it was okay.
A link, Jordan, link? Okay, I'll send you a link.
Wait.
Like Rhett in Link?
Wait, he didn't get no invite?
Link sausages? maybe?
LinkedIn? Chain link fence?
Link's crossbow training?
Maybe.
Great game, by the way, if no one's played it.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, this is great. I like episode 5. It's probably my like second least favorite episode. I'd say
next to 4?
Yeah, I think like this and 4 are like these are like the only two where I'm like, okay, this is like, you know, these are good. I just think in comparison to everything else, they'd be if like this is like a 9.5 season for me. So yeah, these still good episodes, still very good episodes. And that moment too, I get emotional when she's looking at the TV, like they're about to go off together and they see the screen and it's like, fuck. Like every time they go back to the events of episode 5, it's like, fuck. Like it really hits.
And I love the horror tone too that the adversary brings into that episode. And every time we bring up like this episode in the past, Darren, you would ask if like a different character was named this.
Yeah,
and I just thought it's funny how it comes around to
that. Speaking of my adversary, hello, Darren.
Your adversary.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. Hey, did you see your phone? I texted you.
I did not.
I can't say it out loud.
Interesting.
Keeping secrets here, are we?
Okay.
Would you care to share with the rest of the class?
All I can... Okay. How do I... Okay.
Can you put it in the private chat up there?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, throw it in the private chat.
Oh, wait a think about it for a second. He's like, can I?
He's just typing away.
There you go. Boom.
Oh.
Good, Tony.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Good, Tony.
Holy shit.
That's coming up, isn't it? That's in a couple what, a week? Holy shit.
And compared to the first, miles better. Holy shit. I'm like, oh my god, what this is a different show. Like, what happened?
It's like here and here.
Oh, I immediate out the gate. I'm like, holy shit. Hour long of fucking great shit.
I'm excited.
God, the writing was so good.
Guys, he finally watched The Boys. There you go.
He's talking about Gotham Knights, guys. Don't worry.
I watch. Yeah, season 2 of Gotham Knights, guys. It is fucking crazy, man. Batman is actually alive. It's fucking crazy, man.
And his favorite part was me as Red Hood.
Ooh.
No shit.
Hey, you know what, Taz? I feel like if you played Red Hood, you know, you wouldn't be stuck on the role years after your show ended and bashing other people who want to play the character. I feel like you'd be a much better sport about it.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder who that is.
I forgot about that.
So did everyone else until people bring it up again.
Yeah.
Let me redo this. Okay. Yeah, I had to stop in the middle of the episode too. It's kind of a pain.
Who knows?
Comic-Con.
Who knows?
Well, no, I literally had to stop because my wife was on the phone with new insurance.
Yeah, so. I saw your thing, by the way, about the jump in quote estimation. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, $555, and we found a quote that is less than $1,000 for the home alone, and then the autos. We're literally cutting our auto insurance in half.
Home Alone. And
we're also getting pet insurance for Lucifer. So,
is that what you call her after she got skunkified?
You guys didn't hear this. So, like, literally, I was letting her out of the backyard to go up to the side door to go inside, and I didn't see anything. So, I'm like, okay. She walks right past me to go out to the car, like where the cars are parked, and then goes up to the door, and she knows to wait for me to let her in. You know what's crossing the road across the street over into my direction? A fucking deer. Did she run after it? You bet your fucking ass she did. And I'm screaming for her. My wife is screaming for her. Oh my god. And thank God, cars that were driving slowed down because they saw the deer. They saw her. Yeah, she's lucky I didn't beat her ass within an inch of her life because I was about to. But then Shelby, in that yelly voice that I want to avoid, like the plague. Bed. Screaming bed, which means you go to your bed and you lay in it. And I'm like, yeah, you go do that. Don't you go do that.
When the boss says jump, you say how high.
Exactly. What are we talking about, boys?
Talking about X-Men 97.
Woke men.
X-Men 97 episodes 6 and 7.
You're watching X-Men for the first time?
Taz is watching
the
show for the first time. Yes.
97 or the original?
97.
About to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't watch it when it first came out. I tried to watch it like maybe last year or something, and then something came up and I just never got into it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna save it until right before the new season comes out. Like, I've wanted to watch it for a while. I just haven't fit it into my schedule.
Gotcha. Okay.
We just got done talking about episode 6, and we're about to move on to episode 7, which is one of my favorite episodes of X-Men 97.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think episode 6 is like, it's kind of like a chill episode. It's like, okay, we don't want to jump into back to normalcy yet. It's kind of like a breather episode. You're like, all right, relax.
Yeah.
Calm down. Episode 7 is like back to business. Let's continue on.
Yeah.
It is the ramifications of episode 5. So Taz, how did you feel about episode 7?
I think it was probably the best way that you could carry on from like all of just the craziness, right? It was again kind of like a bridging the gap episode, a picking up the pieces sort of episode, and at the very tail end, that's when you got a lot of like the lead on as far as like what we can expect going into this. I wouldn't even say back half of the season, but like what the final 4 episode arc, right? You kind of final 3 episode arc, sorry, might I say, is you teed this up as 8, 9, 10 are like all one big finale. And like technically even episode 7 is like the start of that, you said, right? Which is why I said 4, which is why I said a 4 episode finale. Right?
Yeah, I would make the argument that with the way 8, 9, and 10 work, episode 7, like it really is more of a 4-part finale.
Right. Is like especially it seems like the end bit here for episode 7, like that is really just kickstarting our journey into these final few episodes.
Oh yeah.
Which again, I think that they did really well with showing just like the aftermath of the attack, showing how it's affecting all of our characters very differently. Showing how, the cleanup effort and stuff is going, and how certain characters are going to more extremes than others. As well as, I called it, of course. I'm going to jump to the end of the episode. Our boy, Magneto, Mr. Eric himself, is still alive and well. I mean, well, alive.
No.
Maybe not well.
Good job.
But we're good there.
Were you surprised at all? Were you surprised?
What, that he was still alive?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Not in the slightest.
Okay.
Not in the slightest.
I'm just making sure because, like, they play it up like, oh, by the way, like, no, come on. There's no way.
Yeah.
One death in that episode was made a lot more clear than the other.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah. Trask.
Yes. Which is why I still don't know if Madeline Pryor's like completely gone. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, even if like she's dead now, like we've got Cable, we've got time travel, we've got more clones and mind transference and all this stuff. So
Leech,
I'm all right. R.I.P. my boy Leech. He got transported into the X-Men video game, or into the Wolverine video game.
Yep. Yeah, he did. And I love now that they what I was talking about before, how they brought actors from the original series back to play new characters. Valerie in this series, the blonde woman that wears the pink and the black. She's actually voiced by Catherine Disher, who played Jean Grey originally. So it's another way of them bringing back one of the old cast members.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool.
We also, speaking of bringing characters back, we find out that Emma Frost is not dead. She just transformed. mutated, if you will, which I thought that was
Yeah.
very. I'm glad because I think Emma really didn't have much to do in the original show. I think she showed up a
No,
couple times.
she was just really contained to the Hellfire Club episodes.
Yeah, so I like. It seems like, I guess, semi-spoiler. It seems like she's going to play a bigger role in season 2, which is pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. That's all I'll say there.
Yep.
That is a spoiler.
Okay.
It is a spoiler. That is true.
Again, I it's my fault for not watching it early enough. So I don't mind. I've told you guys is over the years I've cared less and less about spoilers. Like if I really care about spoilers on something, I'll watch it right away. If I don't watch something immediately, that's basically me saying go ahead and spoil it. Like I don't. It's not. It doesn't affect me.
So are
It's
you
not
going to wait?
impact my enjoyment.
So are you going to wait like an entire year to watch Doomsday and pray you don't get spoiled on it?
I mean, here's the thing. We know a lot of stuff about Doomsday. I know too much.
Do we?
I know more about Doomsday than I'd like to. Let's just put it
we
that
don't
way.
know what we don't know.
Hey,
Yes.
and I'll just say this: even if you feel like you've seen something, there's no guarantee that what you've seen ends up in the final movie.
Yeah,
right, or what you've seen is real.
And definitely don't retweet and post leaked footage on your Twitter because that's definitely a smart
Yeah.
idea.
and then go back and forth claiming it's AI or not AI.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Avengers, Taz, we had several
Yes.
Avengers.
Oh yeah, I
characters.
forgot about that.
Fucking
I forgot about
Captain
that.
America.
I did message you. I'm like, dude, what is Captain America doing here?
Voiced by Josh Keaton.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it was done on purpose, but there's the line where Beast quotes a Mr. Rogers quote, and seconds later Mr. Rogers shows up. Not the same Mr. Rogers, but still a Mr. Rogers, which I think
That is true. That is true.
Which not my favorite Captain America we've seen. Obviously, he's a bit of a dick, but I think it's what they needed for the episode. They needed someone to be the governmental pony boy that well, I can't pick sides, Rogan.
I mean,
Not my favorite look for Cap, but I get what they were going for.
You could argue it was one of those moments, and this is not me defending it, but you can either get this mindset or you don't. It's one of those situations where a non-X-Men character is put in a worse light to make the X-Men look better by comparison. So, you can either like a way that's done or not. It can go either way. I didn't adamantly hate it, but Cap's role in the series is not huge when you look at just the season in a vacuum, but when you take into account that this was the same Captain America, technically, from all those cartoons back in the day, you notice a little bit of inconsistencies where you're like, is this really the same character? Because sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the 90s universe as a whole, but it does feel like a very mosh posh in continuity. Like from what I've heard, it's very much oh, they did this and then they did this and then they did this over here.
I believe so. I literally so it's so funny that you mentioned that. I think I have a video in my watch later saved. Let me find it.
Oh, where it was the original crossover where they we're talking about how all those different shows kind of came together.
Yeah, and it was basically how they were all kind of a mess. Whose video was that?
Yeah, So, to their defense, at least back then, I don't think they were making it adamantly clear that every version of a character was the same. When you had the X-Men in their cartoon, and then when they crossed over with Spider-Man, it was clear, oh, hey, it's that X-Men. But when you had Captain America pop up for that one X-Men 90s cartoon episode with Wolverine, and then you see Captain America show up in Spider-Man animated series a couple years later, there's nothing that really tells you, oh, it's that same Captain America. By just association, you kind of assume it is, but there's no thing that really carries over to hit that home. Same thing with Iron Man, where you had 2 seasons of the Iron Man cartoon, and then he appears in Spider-Man. The threads with those characters are a little bit more loose. I feel like those characters, the Marvel characters that we see in this, feel like retooled versions of the later versions of them that we saw. So the most recent area you saw those characters in before this, for a lot of them was the Spider-Man animated series. That's where you saw a lot of those characters for the most recent time prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I could buy that those characters we see here are continuations of those characters, not necessarily the ones that started all the way back.
Fair. We also had a fun little Quicksilver cameo, which was fun.
Yeah.
From Morph,
Yes.
and also Ross, which is probably my favorite cameo, actually. I love the scene where it's like, don't worry, this was like meant for the Hulk. And it's like she gets in there with ease. I was like, that's continuity. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Putting to use that Captain Marvel power that she stole all those years back. Which is,
I love Rogue's journey this episode.
I was about to ask you, Taz. Yeah, this is a big Rogue-centered episode. Can't talk about this episode without talking about Rogue.
Yes.
How are you feeling about the Rogue journey so far this season?
I'm really liking her this season. Like, again, she is an X-Men character that, like, I don't really necessarily think about a ton when I think of the X-Men, oddly enough, just because when I think X-Men, a lot of times I think more so like some of the animated shows that I've seen in the past, like X-Men Evolution, and I think about the original movies and stuff like that, where Rogue was, yes, a bigger character in that first movie, but kind of fizzled out towards, but they're actually like giving her the time of day here and giving her a really good storyline, a really good emotional arc. And she is very distraught and very hurt after the death of Gambit. And she is rightfully so kind of on this like vengeance and anger tour that leads us to the end of this episode here, where she finds, basically somebody who she can pin responsibility for all of, for the attack and everything on. And when given the opportunity, she's just like, yeah, screw this, I'm going to kill the guy. Which is not a very, this is not the Jedi way. It's not a very X-Men thing you would think to do, unless your name is Wolverine.
I love how like Wolverine's like, yeah, that's what we all wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rogue's rebuttal when he's like, you're supposed to be the good guys. You killed those. Oh my God. And the visuals too, and that ending in the rain, beautiful stuff.
Well, it just goes to show, because that typical notion of like heroes don't kill their villains, or like heroes don't go that extra step. Like I think it's smart to actually show that she was pushed to that limit, that she's going to go that far, that she's willing to take that extra step.
Yeah.
I mean, the grand scheme of things, like it's always that question of, okay, why doesn't Batman just kill the Joker? Well, his no-kill code. Okay, well that means Joker's going to get locked up, then he's going to break out again and kill more people, right? It's a constant loop. So the fact that Rogue is willing to do it, and the fact is no one, like, yeah, they all started to like talk about it, but it wasn't like a thing to where, Rogue, you did a bad thing. It's like,
and no one
it
tried
was
to
like
stop her.
It was kind of like that was not expected, but we understand it, we accept it.
The X-Men are not, the X-Men are not Batman. The X-Men are not Spider-Man, who traditionally doesn't kill villains.
Or Daredevil, unless you're Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Yeah, well, it's like, okay, at a certain point, these characters do reach their limit, right?
Yeah.
Like, if Spider-Man gets pushed that limit with Aunt May's death or something, he might kill somebody.
We saw that he would have, because he almost killed Green Goblin.
Yeah, and then you say and then you could say, okay, well, Batman doesn't break. Well, look through the multiverse in DC. There are Batmen that do break. Kevin Conroy's Batman in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, he broke and killed Superman. So, yeah.
And I think it's great commentary with the story they're telling this season. Like, Xavier isn't here to tell them what's right and what's wrong. They are now grown up, and they have to make their own decisions. And having Magneto
learn this on their own
as their leader, you see the various X-Men go different directions of like, where do we stand? Like, who are we ultimately, and where is our moral code? I think like Cyclops is going through that same thing this season, where he's definitely more Charles than a lot of the other characters, but we see him leaning maybe he is more like Magneto than he wants to admit. Like the whole scene in like episode 5, I don't think we talked about that last time, but like his whole scene, or like thank God we're different, because like you guys would be fucked without
it's
us.
the only reason you're still alive.
It's so good. Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
No, He's not. But it's definitely more of the like Charles would be like, no, we love everyone equally. We're all equal. And he's like, no, the fuck we're not. Like we are special, and thank God. Like it's good that we are. Like you need us. Like it's.
You need me to save you.
Yeah. And I'll say, as character driven as the rogue side of that episode is, I think it kind of I think it simultaneously accomplishes two different things. One, it's a great arc for her, while filling out more of the Marvel world at the same time, not only with characters she interacts with, but places that she goes. And it tells you how the rest of the world is affected by what's been happening. And that's something I always look for in these stories, is how is the surrounding world affected? Because then, if you never really show that, then ultimately, why do these places matter other than them just serving as cool visuals for the action to happen on?
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think the show has some of the best world building I've seen.
Yeah.
In like a Marvel or like a superhero project.
Yeah.
Like I think they do a fantastic job of setting that up.
Especially given the fact that it was a universe that was built up and established decades ago.
Yeah. Taz, we had the return of Cable. Cable's back.
Yes.
Defeated. We got our introduction to a Prime Sentinel as well. Won't dive too much into that. I think we'll get more into that maybe next week. But
okay.
Just based on what you've seen so far, thoughts on Prime Sentinels?
I mean, pretty cool stuff there. I mean, that's all. That's all I really know. I mean, I think I really do kind of like the Sentinel storylines. Like, I think that it's very interesting, like how much of like an unstoppable force that these things become at times. And again, think of a show like, what was it, Wolverine and the X-Men, right? Where like they were all dead, basically. Or like very, most of them were, and then it was like kind of Wolverine picking up the pieces, and it just like these Sentinels were just like an unrelenting force throughout that entire show, and that is kind of like when I think about Sentinels, that's the show that comes to mind, and that's the version of them that comes to mind. But yeah, I think 97 is going to do a really, really good job of showing not just the standard Sentinels that you're used to, but kind of an evolution, so to speak, to that kind. Yeah,
He said the thing.
I would honestly like to see Prime Sentinels be the, pardon the pun, the prime source of conflict for an X-Men movie. Like, have it being like you have a bunch of normal-looking people on the surface, even though some of them don't look normal, that have these fantastic abilities, fighting against a lot of humans that are melded with robotics. And I think there's just a lot of good thematics and drama that you can pull from that.
We had a Jubilee and Roberto storyline. He finally comes out to his mother as a mutant, which Happy Pride. It's very queer coded storyline, which is one of my favorite things. Like maybe that's why I like the X-Men so much, because it's often very queer coded in the storylines they're telling, and and I thought that was a very interesting look at it, where it's like, oh, like I felt that was very real, where it's like, oh, we love you and we accept you, but don't tell anybody because we'll lose money. Like it's
better than like what X-Men 2 did, where they're like, well, have you tried not being a mutant?
I do like that line too, because that's very queer coded, where it's like, oh yeah. Okay, they knew exactly what they were doing there.
Oh yeah,
you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in, maybe you'll lose your powers. Like a hard restart.
Software reboot.
Yeah,
that's very fun.
Did you download the latest drivers or version of Windows?
Did you install your latest update?
No, that's the Prime Sentinels.
Yeah, true.
Make sure they install some antivirus.
Or else you'll be infected with malware.
Yeah.
We can keep the tech jokes going all night, but anyway, continue there.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Kind of the big ending, like you already said, Taz. Magneto's alive. He's being shaved by a certain someone. I'm not gonna say
someone very sinister.
Is that who you think it is?
I think. Oh. Maybe.
I mean,
here's what I'll say. It's not the same voice actor as Sinister.
No.
all I'll say.
Mystique.
Possible.
Oh man. Okay, we're in for it here then.
Anything is possible in the world of X-Men.
Mm-hmm. I'll say when that episode aired,
except a good telling of the Phoenix story, apparently.
All I'll say is when that episode aired, I was like, "Who the hell is that?"
Yeah, I feel like.
Am I crazy? I thought it looked like Mr. Sinister. I thought it was supposed to be. No, I'm just misremembering it now.
I'll just say no. It's not. Sinister.
I'll just
okay.
And I'll say this: yes, I knew the character, but I feel like the show does a good job of telling non-X-Men comic fans who this character is.
I had no idea who it was when that. I was like, this was my first
interesting. Okay,
I'll say that.
Okay.
It'll be a journey. It'll be a journey.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see what you think of this.
Now, are you gonna watch all three since the 3-parter?
No, I think Darren wants me to watch them week to week.
We did miss out on a week, so we can't do the all in different weeks. I think next week we're going to do.
Okay, so do 8 and 9. Okay, 8 and 9 next week, and then
the finale we'll do as well.
Okay.
Because
all right, let me
I'll
write
say
that
episode 8 ends in a way where I'm like, we need to talk about the ending of episode 8. So
okay.
Yeah. For those who know, no.
Okay.
It gets super
9.
woke. Super
episode
woke.
9, I mean, like the end of episode 9 is like, oh my god.
Okay.
Oh god, yeah. Episode 9's ending.
Yeah, like that. There's a reason I'm like, oh yeah, I want to talk about that separately, and then the final episode obviously opens. We can end it, and then we'll go.
Yeah. And I'm curious because probably won't be here when Taz talks about it because Darren doesn't like me having on the show. But when you see how season 1 wraps up, Taz, I'm curious to know if you have a thought of what this could be leading to besides what you see on screen. That's all I'll say.
You haven't seen any marketing for season 2 yet, right?
No, the only thing that I know is that the dude from Obsession is is voicing a young Cable.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, there's certain things you'll see on screen that's like, okay, this is where we're going, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a thing that I want to ask you about when you finish it that you don't see, but you're like, but if you know comics and you know X-Men, you're going to go, I think I know where they're heading. I think I know what's coming.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
It'll be a fun couple weeks.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for that then.
I can't believe we're 3 weeks out from season 2. I can't.
Crazy.
Yeah, season 2. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep, and we already know that a 4th is being made.
Yeah, which is very exciting.
I thought they said something about 4 and 5, right?
No,
or
3
am I
and 4.
being crazy?
For
3 and 4. 3 and 4. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they are a lot more ahead of this than they let on through social media.
Since we have 4 seasons, we know that confirmed. Jake, I'm telling you, they're fucking doing it. They're doing it. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. I don't know how they're going to do it. Anyways.
There's one thing I know that I'm not going to say.
What?
I know they said at one point in time they had like a 5-season plan. Obviously, that could change to more or less, but they've said originally if they get their way, at least 5 seasons.
If they're doing what I think they're doing, they would need at least 2 seasons to cover that. At least. There's so much story to it. There's no way they could do it in 1 season. Unless that season had like 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Holy Toledo.
I think okay, I'm gonna put my hat in the ring right now and say that there's more time travel stuff that's gonna happen. Like I think we're gonna get kind of like almost like another like Days of Future Past style story or something. I don't know because I think like stuff is hitting the fan. You've already got Cable there. People are dying. People are like so much stuff is going on that
Taz, let me tell you this. Think bigger.
Bigger.
Oh.
Bigger.
Like Secret Wars?
In a way.
I think Secret Wars actually happened in this continuity, right? With
it already happened.
With Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
Yeah.
Okay. It's something specific. Well, technically, it's not just X-Men. There's something specific that the comics did.
Okay.
That is not Secret Wars. It's not a war. I mean, it is a war, but not in that sense.
Not a titled war.
Yes, but it is a war. There's a lot of death.
A war is coming, Captain Hunter.
Literally. Oh yeah.
Oh God.
All right.
I've seen men of steel die. Dark Knight's Fall.
By the way, did you guys? So that just reminded me about something. Did you guys see the Did you guys see the thing that Grant Gustin posted recently about the autographed? The autographed jacket and the ring. Yes. Did any of you guys get that?
No.
No.
But he's still got the blonde hair, guys.
Did you get it?
Oh, did you get it?
See.
We'll see.
I thought he was like leaning over to slowly reveal it behind him.
I mean, no. We'll see what comes in the mail one day.
Now look, I personally wanted to buy the ring, but I mean, I just don't. I mean, we're having financial stuff right now, but I would buy the ring.
The only superhero related ring I have at the moment is this thing.
He got the blonde hair. They're filming The Man of Tomorrow. He's gonna show up.
So here's the thing.
Dude,
here's the reason why I did it is because I missed out on the Black Ops 3 Juggernog mini fridge back in 2015, and I will never miss out on a collectible item that is like so cool that it'll
especially
just be, like,
signed by the fucking Flash.
Exactly. I'm like, all right, it's gonna be expensive, but like we're gonna shift a couple things around here, and then we're gonna make this work because it's gonna be so cool to have so cool to show off on stream one day.
Yeah,
I'll just buy it from you guys. That's fine.
One of
I'll sign it too.
One of the
could be even more valuable.
One of the comic stores around me that I used to go to had this like mantle in the center of the store where they had a bunch of signed shit from different actors, and up there was a bronze Jay Garrick helmet that John Wesley Shipp signed.
Oh wow!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, short car, you said what I'm saying. If Grant Gustin shows up as Barry Allen in Man of Tomorrow, holy Toledo!
I'll lose my shit.
Holy crap!
It's
not gonna happen.
I don't think it's not gonna happen.
Watch him show up, but it not be as Barry.
I don't think there's anything.
I think if Grant
could do that would get me more excited than that.
Like, I think if Grant shows up at all, I'd be excited. But if it's as Barry,
I mean, this isn't going to happen. But I said I would love it if they continued the legacy Flash actor trend. If they did like some sort of JSA World War II prequel movie of having Grant play a prime age Jay Garrick.
I mean, it would have him in the universe.
But I almost feel like that's the equivalent Barry might have anyway. Like I think Barry will be more of a mentor.
Yes. I think Wally should still be the main Flash, but if you have Grant as a mentor figure Barry that pops in and out here and there, that is not dead or in the speed. Yeah, exactly. He's not dead. He's not in the Speed Force, whatever. But like he's there. He's off doing his thing.
I've always said if you do a Wally West Flash movie, you have Barry disappear into the Speed Force at the end of that movie, but he mentors Wally up to the point where he has to make the sacrifice to go in the Speed Force. And then in a Justice League movie down the road, then you bring his ass back out of the Speed Force. Boom.
Because I imagine this Barry in this universe would be a similar age to like Hal Jordan if we're going by actor ages.
Yeah, so by the time we even get to that movie, Grant's gonna be older, so it would work.
Yeah.
It would. Yeah, and like also like if you are going to be killing that Flash off, getting Grant Gustin already gives you like this automatic attachment to him, so you don't have to do as much work to make you care about. Like we already care about Grant Gustin's Flash, so you could. It
was the same thing they did with John Wesley Shipp when they brought his Barry Allen back. They had that Barry Allen die in Crisis instead. There was already an audience that loved that character, so it would be the same sort of thing, but to an arguably higher scale.
Yep. Agreed. Alrighty. Well, I mean, speaking of dying, we do have to end the stream. We do go.
I thought Darren was about to say, speaking of dying, would you like to play a game?
I didn't know if well, then it's obvious you guys already talked about it. I just want to briefly say My vs. Superman. I love the show's back. Love it. Love it.
Yep.
Love it. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate they already spoiled what's going to happen in the next episode, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. We knew it was going to happen. I was just like, guys, don't reveal it. Oh God.
Darren was saying earlier the marketing for the show sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go around the room. Let's see where everyone can find everyone. Taz, what you working on, bud?
I'm working on hopefully trying to do something. I looked at my list of all my video ideas that I had put down of like things to do, and it's like everything is kind of passed. So we'll see. Something I didn't talk about tonight. Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. Maybe I'll do a video for that. That looks very fun.
There you go.
Maybe I'll become a Resident Evil channel for a minute. But also Black Flag Resynced is coming out very soon here. Mentioned earlier, my brother and I are going to try to get into Escape the Backrooms and stuff like that. Maybe I'll post some stuff about that as well. So just whatever I'm feeling. But hopefully something very soon here. YouTube.com/ToxicTaz. You know the drill.
He's toxic as fuck.
What up, Jake? What you working on, Jake?
I got my own series Lost Levels that I do on Sundays. We did a Lego Batman stream yesterday. The game audio tried to screw me over, but I beat it in the end. Have a Skyrim stream coming up this upcoming Sunday before I take a break for a couple Sundays. But in between then, I've got a lot of comic-related videos that I have coming out related to games, movies, shows, and everything in between, along with a long catalog of what I've dubbed bonus videos. So going to try to get as many of those out as I can this week, and as many as I can during the time when I'm not streaming to kind of fill in the gap of there not being a stream, and trying to get to both 2K and monetization by the time we get to Comic-Con, which there's 6 weeks. So I need like just a little over 200 subs in 6 weeks. I think we can get it. Come on.
Hell yeah, man. Jordan, got anything that you're working on?
No, nothing specifically. I do have it depends on if anything drops. I don't think anything is tomorrow, but just in case, sometime this week I am putting out a video featuring Darren from our stream we did for Ben 10. It's a clip of the DNA Labs. So that may go up tomorrow. It just depends on what drops, because as we know, when you wake up in the morning, you don't know what's dropping that day unless they announce ahead of time. So we don't know what the fuck. So that may come out tomorrow, maybe later this week. But anyways, Council of Creators every Wednesday. We're starting a new segment this Wednesday where it is everyone on the panel is going to have a movie, a part of a thing called Council Recommends, where we get to talk about a movie from each panelist, and they get to briefly talk about the movie, to promote it, to talk about it, so the other panelists and audience can know about the movie if they're not aware of it, and maybe they'll go watch it. You never know. But it's just a way to kind of talk more movies. But other than that, no. My versus Superman coverage, Ben 10 reboot, being woke, being white. That's me.
Yep. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And then what do I got? Pipeline Thursday. We're talking Disclosure Day this week. Just saw it today. Very interesting movie. I'm excited to dive into that. And then obviously we'll be back next Monday with obviously more X-Men 97. We'll do episode 8 and 9. Which some hefty episodes. I'm very excited to talk about it. And then obviously we'll be back with more My Adventures with Superman episode 2 as we what seems to be setting up our next DC TV show with My Adventures with Green Lantern. So that will be very fun as well. And I think that's kind of it for me as well. I saw a question. Are you guys covering House of the Dragon season 3? I have not seen season 2, so no.
No.
If any of my panelists want to talk about it, they're more than welcome to. But it's not.
I've never seen a.
I hear there's dragons in the house.
Yeah.
House.
Dragon in this house
on Wednesday. Do we know that?
That's not confirmed.
That's not confirmed.
That's just based off of the fact that they keep leaking shit.
I think it's more likely to get Avengers because I think they want to put Avengers with Toy Story. If anything, I feel like.
I think Avengers is going to go in front of Spider-Man.
I think you got to pair them together.
Spider-Man's the week after Comic-Con. They're dropping that trailer before. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's when they'll do it. Boom.
Agreed.
Boom.
But yeah, everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next